live. That's exciting. I'm here, my people. What up, Spotify? You almost made me not want to stream today at all. So thanks for that. Thanks, dude. Thanks for almost ruining it for everybody. Oh,
We've changed each other really good.
Jesus, shush. Oh my god. All right, there was an advertisement. That was fucked up. I'm here, my people. What up, Spotify? You almost made me not want to stream today. We're good. We're good. Couple of announcements, but I gotta get some things set up first here real quick. Holy smokes. 1 second. We have Dwarves versus Inch. That's a little spoopy. I gotta save up some replays. I gotta say hi to the stream. I gotta post the fact that the stream is happening. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So maybe just calm down. And one. Oh yeah, and then I have to get rid of that replay. Because there's a replay from Faction Cup Finals, War Finals. Which if I show you that, that'll be spoilers. We can't let that happen. I'm not looking at chat right now, so I'm not gonna look at you. Can't make me. Replay. World Cup Finals. Go back to desktop and put that in the World Cup replays. Now, if I did that correctly, it's not here anymore. Great. Great. Okay, let's post this thing in the Discords, ping the peoples, and then I will talk to you directly. It's done. We're face cam. We won't tell anyone to show us. What? No, Boba Chicken. That is spoilers. No puppy cam, no face cam. I am doing some setups. Okay, here's the thing. We'll get a camera going in another stream soon. But today, we have a brand new audio setup. So let me know if anything sounds like garbage. Most particularly... if the in-game versus my voice audio mixing is off. But yeah, we have a new mic setup. It should be more stable. It should be slightly higher quality, but the biggest thing should be there's less background noise. Like, do you hear me clicking right now? You shouldn't. In my testing, you couldn't hear me clicking, but maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't know. Anyway, new mic setup. So that's exciting and fun, and hopefully we'll have less audio glitches in the future. Whenever I do long videos, there's sometimes that like weird sound that would happen, and that's a pain in the balls. Okay, so what are we doing today? We have Big JP's Conquest tournament, which is also kind of my tournament, kind of mine. Let's see, I'm just pulling this up. Just, I know there's a scorecard all of a sudden. It's okay. It's okay. It'll get better. This one. Boom. Okay. So you know how we had that tryhard tournament that Segos won the other day? And it was for 200 Steam bucks. He got one of the 4 qualifying spots. We also have 4 tournaments throughout February to get to a new player version of the same thing. So today will be the first qualifier for that. I think I have another one coming up on the 12th. So Wednesday of next week. New players only. And then if you win the tournament, there are 4 tournaments, so 4 winners will get together and we'll do a special event with them at the end of February. If you get into that special event, you guaranteed get a DLC from Creative Assembly themselves. They've agreed to help me out with that. So all 4 of the top players will get 1 DLC, but whoever wins that special event between the 4, so whoever proves themselves to be the best new player gets every single DLC they don't currently own for Warhammer 1, 2, and 3. Which, if you owned like no DLC, is like literally 300 bucks. But if you have most of the DLC, it's not as much. So kind of surprised that depends on how much or how little DLC you have. So yeah. This still will be a new player tournament, as you are used to on this channel. So you'll see some different factions, you'll see some different builds, you'll see more mistakes than on our tryhard content. But one thing to keep an eye out for is this is probably going to be more new players trying their best. Where a lot of other events, and I'm not saying this negatively, but a lot of other new player events, it's usually just kind of more casual, more fun. People just trying to have a good time. You'll be seeing a lot more of these players trying their best to win because there is something on the line. Right? Right. Okay, that's the intro. All right. As with usual, this format is a Swiss format until you get to semifinals. Once you get to the end of 4 Swiss rounds, they just take the top 4 players, have them do a quick semifinal and final. We'll cast those live, but until then, we'll just cast some replays that people are sending to us. And we'll try and get a spread so you see at least everybody once. Is that motherfucking dwarves? Okay, hold on. That's motherfucking dwarves, but this is my kind of motherfucking dwarves. You get a nice, thick, long-beard front line, you get some quarrelers, you get some cannons. I'm down for this. These are the best dwarves. What constitutes a new player? If you've played a lot of quick battles, if you've played a lot of campaign, you are still a new player relatively. We are just kind of qualifying new player as like not winning tournaments regularly all the time. But if you've entered some tournaments and you usually get knocked out round 1 or 2, you're probably a new player, you know? If you make micro mistakes, like you forget units exist, you put them in corners, you do silly things, you're probably a new player. Things like that. There's a little bit of if you know, you know. But I would say 95% of all Total War Warhammer 3 players are what we would consider a new player. And then the top 5% are like our tournament regulars that are consistently on stream, that are consistently in every tournament we post. Those guys are excluded from this tournament. Yeah. Well, is there any way to see Hazel someday? Soon. I just got a new mic set up and I'm trying that and I didn't plug in my camera because I'm busy. I'm sorry. Actually, Hazel is in tomorrow's video because tomorrow we have the ice bath video and Hazel comes up to comfort me in my pain. Okay, sorry. I promise I'll cast the game, but somebody's actually asking me questions right now. Does all the DLCs include Warhammer 1 and 2? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine. And then Bojangification. I only play single player. How long does it take to go to multiplayer? Those freeze DLCs sound nice. I'd say it takes about 10 hours of playing multiplayer to get pretty darn passable at it. And then it takes much longer to get like good. But for new player stuff, I mean, yeah, about 10 hours you'd be fine. Just playing like quick battles or hopping on our Discord servers and playing with some people. But we have games. We have games. For the dwarves, we have gyrocopters, 2 of those. We have 3 regular quarrelers, 2 bolt throwers, a cannon, 5 miners of blast and charges, 5 longbeards, and Thoric Ironbrow on his Anvil of Doom. Does not look like he's on his Anvil of Doom. He just has a Rune of Hearth and Home, and then no runes, actually. I mean, the Rune of Hearth and Home sounds like a rune, but I'm talking about the magic runes that recharge. On the other side for the Warriors of Chaos, Knights of Immolation, Doom Knight ROR, Zarthoriel the Everwatcher with just his rock of inevitability, and then Searing Doom. And we have some Marauders, some Blue Horrors. How the hell does the Warriors of Chaos have Blue Horrors? I think he's using campaign exclusive stuff. So I don't believe this Warriors of Chaos army is legal. Or is this Tzeentch? Oh, this is just a Tzeentch army. I forgot Zarthoriel is now a Tzeentch Lord. That's my bad. Okay. This build's fine. So it's a Tzeentch army. Gotcha. Double Changebringers, Blue Horrors, Marauders, and I believe I saw a Chaos Warrior. Cool. This is Conquest. Whole tournament is Conquest. The Dwarves gonna have to advance at some point and go set up their formation more on top of the point, while the Marauders are gonna try and capture it quick before the steam gyrocopters take them out. Changebringers should probably get 1 volley off onto these gyros, and that would honestly probably nuke them. Decent damage onto that one that's already taking some damage, but the Changebringers did divide their fire. And both blast 1. Gyrocopter's routed for the 2nd time. 3rd time and he will shatter. Meanwhile, the Gyrocopter is getting harassed by Zarthoriel. Knights of Immolation have taken a ton of damage. It looks like both the bolt throwers are firing at them. Nice overcasted Searing Doom onto one of the bolt throwers. Not going to do that much damage, though. The dwarves are very spaced out, making it hard to get good cluster damage on them. And this is classic dwarves. Just chilling. Trying to soften up the enemy before they eventually slow push up and take everything out. Already we've lost some Marauders. The Knights of Immolation are crazy damaged for such an expensive unit, and very little has happened. So Arthuriel's actually going to dive in onto a bolt thrower, and I don't hate this. There's not a lot to punish him, especially because the dwarves right now aren't turning and firing at him. Looks like they're just going to keep shooting at random stuff and not particularly caring about Arthuriel. So some cannons are point-blank firing downhill into him, actually taking big chunks out. Another overcasted Searing Doom. Still don't know if that's the best choice versus Dwarven Artillery. They do have spell resistance, and they're just so spread out, so not great Winds of Magic usage there. These Changebringers do have to get moving. Bolt throwers have now turned onto them, and Changebringers are insanely squishy, so can't allow this fire to take place for too much longer. Knights of Immolation almost routing away. Thoric is caught up to Sartorial, who is getting pretty low, already down to about half HP as the Changebringers move in. Front line is going pretty terribly for Tzeentch, as the blasting charges and the Longbeards take care of them quite easily. The Changebringers are kind of trying to duel with the bolt throwers at point-blank range, but looks like we have some Quarreler support fire, which is doing a lot of damage. The Changebringers are demonic, meaning as soon as they get low, they'll just kill themselves off with demonic instability crumbling. Other Changebringer volleys doing decent damage to the Quarrelers, but we just lost one of those expensive guys. Sartorial still struggling to get much done on the ground as he throws a little tantrum on top of the bolt throwers. I kind of want to see the cannons blast him at point-blank range. I know it's been happening, but I just want to see it happen. Bam! 700 HP just taken off the top, Jesus Christ. Dwarves are very ahead on the balance of power, as you would expect. They're winning the melee. Their ranged is still largely active, and they've already taken out one of the Changebringers. The other Changebringer is probably going to be the target soon, though some of the Quarrelers are getting shut down. That's a little problematic. If the Dwarves can hang on for just a little bit longer, they can finish off Sartorial. He's down to 1800 HP. If that cannon can get one more good volley on him, he would Demonic Instability crumble with Thoric behind him. Now that he's back up in the air, he might be okay leadership-wise if he takes a little bit more damage. Still, it's hard to find anything positive going for Tzeentch right now. Really far behind in the balance of power. Conquest points aren't exactly crazy high. It's not like they could just fall back and try and defend the point for a little bit and hold on. Bolt throwers finally starting to get shut down a little bit, though a Gyrocopter does just challenge the Changebringers to melee. They should lose that, right? The Changebringers should beat a Gyrocopter in melee. Looks like they have guard mode on. They're just trying to punish a blob of dwarves right now, but you have to turn around and fight those gyros eventually, because we're getting shot by bolt throwers the whole time too, so any distraction is bad. The Thoriel throws down another overcasted Searing Doom, spreading out that damage. I'm generally more of a fan of undercasted Searing Doom. Yeah, shut up, OBS Studio. Smaller focused areas usually easier to deal with an army loss, so just takes Tzeentch out. GG. GG. Dwarves are very, very strong right now. Very, very strong. Only one of the Changebringers got good value. The other side, the Miners cleared out a lot of the front line, then the Longbeards just churned through the rest. Gyrocopters did okay. Oh wait, sorry, those were all Quarrelers. Yeah, Gyrocopters again didn't get that much value. Bolt throwers did well, cannon did well. Quarrelers did fine. G. Grand Cathay versus Beastmen. Okay. Okay. When did dwarves become OP? It was the last DLC, or they've been like this for a while. They were strong, but definitely not overpowered before the Thrones of Decay DLC. But then their Thrones of Decay DLC made them crazy overpowered, and they've just been like that ever since. We have 1001 airstrikes versus Leal H4. Liaha. I don't know. I work here. But yeah, Thunderbarge is really strong. They got their Gyrocopters buffed in the Thrones of Decay rework. They got Bolt Throwers buffed in the Thrones of Decay rework. Thoric was already crazy. They got a bunch of new units. Some of them aren't that good, but some of their new units were pretty powerful. And it just kind of sent them over the top. Dwarves are just too good at too many things now. For game 2, Grand Cathay setting up a box formation, Peasant Longspear backline with a Jade Warrior frontline, Zhengdu War Drum buffing them all up, melee attack and ITP. Then we have some Iron Hail Gunners, triple crossbows, 2 of which are Jade Warriors, 1 is the Grace of Qi-Yin, Celestial Dragon Crossbow ROR, 1 cannon. We do have Zhao Ming, the Iron Dragon, with Final Transmutation and Dragon's Breath. On the other side for the Beastmen, some Centaurs with great weapons, Khorne on the Vanguard. Then we have a front line of Ungor herds, more Khorne Gore herds, Bracium of Shadows with Melkoths and Pendulum. And we have Morgur with his Chaos Spawn summons, a Gore Bull, just for dueling, I guess, and the Axe of Man, terror causing, I guess. Okay, cool. So he wants him to help break the front line with terror. And then a Jabber Slife. Jabbers are really good at breaking up box formations. Good animations for charging through stuff. The only problem is versus Cathay. I mean, the cannon poke is really, really good, but then also Iron Hail Gunners can absolutely light up a Jabber. And I do think Cathay players often sleep on the cannons. The cannons can do a lot of work. Now, I said that just as 4 shots in a row missed, which seems unlikely. But usually, cannons are really good poke. Especially versus faction that can't counterfire. Because in artillery duels, Grand Cathay cannons are actually quite squishy. In comes the Pendulums. Nice overlap. It's actually going to hit 2, maybe 3 units. Grazed a third one, mostly hit 2 units. A really nice cast there, as the Shadows Caster is going to fall back. Centaurs will be frustrated. There's not a lot for them to do. If they charge straight into these Peasant Longspears, that is going to be a bad time. Charge Reflection is a hell of a drug. They get a downhill charge, get not much accomplished. Now they are going to take an insane amount of damage back. Peasant Longspears are the best cheap spears in the entire game. You can see these Centaurs get absolutely brutalized by the Peasant Longspearmen. And that is a disastrous start for the Beastmen. The Jabber Scythe is also pushed off by the crossbows and the Iron Hail Gunners. Another Melkoths is out. Not going to be enough to deter the Grace of Qi-Yin from firing away as they wish. Looks like the cannons are going to make sure the Jabber never comes back. It's about to shatter. There it goes. Something gets caster. It's a Final Transmutation from Zhao Ming. Pretty good cast. Hits 2 infantry units, and then hits Morgur, which is fine. Morgur has regeneration. He does have spell resist, but still, it's worth it to try and snipe him out. The Peasant Longspears in the back line are fine. They're chilling. They got rid of 2 Centaurs with great weapons. And now the Chaos Spawn summons are out. Gorbel is also causing disruption in the back line, as is the Bracium of Shadows as he tries to jump through. Cathay hasn't been very impressive in a long time. They're still fine. They're still strong, I guess, but they're not like top tier. This is kind of a callback to when they were top tier and everyone hated them. This is kind of that vibe where their front line just never breaks and they form a box and shoot the piss out of you. Now, time has changed a lot of things. We are in the monstrous meta, so generally Grand Cathay front lines aren't holding great. Now, they're still fine. I'm not trying to say they're a bad faction. It's just they went from being S tier to being like middle of B because monstrous rushes are so strong versus Jade Warriors and Peasant Longspears. Like, a different Beastman build would be like Ungor herds backed up by Minotaurs, or even backed up by Chaos Spawn, or 2 Jabber Scythes running around, or, well, I think that one's illegal because it's double Mortis engine, but you could have a Gorgon and a Jabber Scythe. This isn't the best matchup for Beastmen, but generally, like, taking any armor-piercing mobile cav, like the Centaurs, you're just going to run into a box like this, so that doesn't work that well. Against Grand Cathay, you need a lot of blob punishment. Also, the triple hero hammer is probably a little too expensive because the most popular order for Beastmen by far is Malagor. Malagor is crazy cheap, and you can take Flock of Doom, which is a cheap, easy to spam spell, and it really punishes boxes. So that's very efficient. Then you'd have the Beastmen army would have a lot more money to spend on its troops and go a little wider, so they're not getting picked off as easily. Because they went pretty elite, and we saw how good Grand Cathay is at focusing down one thing. Like, the Jabber died before it even hit the front line. The Gorbold took half his HP from 2 Iron Hail volleys. The Shadows Caster got sniped out pretty quickly. How can I win tournament if you haven't created Wood Elves Guide yet? Yoshi, it's because I'm a bad person. Bojangification is supposed to be really new players charging Cabinet Spears like that. I mean, it happens, yeah. Like, was that a mistake? Sure, but that's the kind of tournament this is, right? It's meant to... There is some DLC and incentives and that kind of stuff, but JP hosts these tournaments every week. I host one similar to it every other week or so. And they just, like... They get together some new players, and you can play other people who are also going to make mistakes. And you could also maybe, like, form... I don't want to say friendships, because that's overly cheesy, but if you run into a guy that you ran into in the tournament and you think he's fun, like, you can just DM him on Discord and say, like, hey, You want to play some games sometimes outside the tournament setting, and you're good. Because quick battles used to have a text function. I know it's crazy shit I'm saying right now. But back in Warhammer 2, believe it or not, you could type to your opponent, and you could interact with them. And that's not a thing anymore. So now these tournaments are kind of like a way to gather people who aren't amazing at the game, but also just want to fucking play some multiplayer, not on quick battle. Some people like quick battle, some people don't. I'm in the don't category. I've had a lot of cheesy quick battle experiences. No matter what game mode it is, I've just had some bad ones, so I generally stick to playing on my Discord with people I know. Imagine if somebody was rude. That technology was lost in time. It's true. True. All right, I'm going to look for some replays. We've got some here. Why do you keep defaulting to the wrong thing? Default to the right thing, you fuck. Sorry. Sorry you had to hear such language. Wood Elves. Skip. Doom Kings. Skip. Wood Elves, but not. Okay, I guess we don't have a game to cast. Guess I'll boot up my campaign. Playing some Carl Franz. Let's just start a new campaign. Alright, let's do Realm of Chaos. Let's do Dwarfs. Mount guy. Okay. Let's do the settings. Easy baby mode. My battles are going to be very hard. On the campaign map, they're going to be super nice to me, but my battles, crazy hard. The bit's over. I'm done joking around. Let's cast some motherfucking Wood Elves. Prepare Riposte! And Curio. That language is why you don't get more views. It's possible. I've accepted the fact that my name isn't Turin, and therefore I will never get the views. We did upgrade our microphone. Maybe that'll help. Another dwarf game? This isn't a dwarf game. This isn't a dwarf game, Spencer. Don't you lie. For Curio and his Tomb Kings, we have 2 skeleton horse archers, some skeleton horsemen, Ushap Gripa ROR, Sporkle Stalker ROR, the Sphinx Usef, and then a front line of skeleton spearmen. Protecting some skeleton archers, and then we have Cetra the Imperishable. So it is the double kitty cat Tomb Kings. It was the terror briefly. It was briefly a terror. And recently a lot of people have learned how to counteract it, and now it is just strong. So we'll see if the Wood Elves here can join the club of things that are beating the double Tomb Kings cats. For the Wood Elves, we have an Eternal Guard front line, Wild Riders in the back, a Spellsinger of Life with Earthblood and Regrowth, more Glade Riders, the Sisters of Twilight on their dragon, and 1 Wildwood Ranger, backed up by some Starfire Shafts Glade Guard. By far the best Glade Guard in this matchup. Fire damage is great versus the Tomb Kings because of their slow army passive where their whole army gets healing, so applying fire damage to anything is super worth it. Then armor piercing is great versus all the constructs, obviously. Sphinx Usef is running straight in. Now, unfortunately, the fire damage versus him does mean he takes 20% less damage, but I don't think it makes it a bad choice when 1 unit on the whole roster has fire resistance. Great catch here from the Wood Elves. Wild Riders and Glade Riders catching the Skeleton Horsemen and Skeleton Horse Archers taking them out is pretty huge. They want to get onto the back line like these Wild Riders did, getting onto the Chosen of the Gods. Sparkle Stalkers are trying to offer a little bit of help, but the Chosen of the Gods probably have to run away and make the Wild Riders work for it a bit more because they are dying for free right now. But speaking of dying for free, a lot of Glade Guard are already taken out by the counter Skeleton Archer fire and some of the cats being big and spooky. Plus Legion of Flach and the other Skeleton Archers also pummeling the front lines. The Tomb Kings are not going down without a fight. A couple things went poorly for them, like this Cav fight and the Chosen of the Gods thing, but a lot has gone well for them as well. Ooh, if the Chosen of the Gods can get a shot onto this cluster, it's going to do so much damage. I don't dare pan away as it's coming in. Boom, boom, boom. A little less than I thought, still pretty good. I guess they are already missing 3 of their models, but still, I would have expected more out of you, Chosen of the Gods. They're still peppering them a bit, getting some decent damage out. You love to see it. Now, for the double cats of Doom, running around, getting shot by Sisters of Twilight and the other Glade Guard, I do think that the Tomb Kings are currently kind of doing the worst of both worlds. They're neither protecting their backline effectively with both the cats back here trying to offer a bit of protection, but they're also not sacrificing their backline to shut down the enemy. The Sphinxes are just running through the front line, which is you're losing your ranged assets in the back, but also you're getting shot by theirs. So I really want the cats to commit to something else besides infantry. The current meta we're in is largely fire and forget with your infantry, and whoever has the infantry advantage in the late game, you can use them as a bit of a home base to like run your cavalry back to or use to defend your archers. But it's not something you have to kill immediately. And using your big assets to take out the front line is just kind of not how the current game is played. The current game is either securing your ranged assets or securing the mobility advantage and leveraging that to victory. Infantry don't matter as much. And we're seeing that here. Tomb Kings are starting to win the front line, but their Sphinx is taking a lot of damage and they are falling behind in the balance of power. Now, Cetra jumping back on the back line did a crazy amount of damage to the Wild Riders with a good charge and some Musirians, so that is really good. I just think it came a little bit late. Sphinx is starting to crumble soon. A charge is currently giving him enough leadership to stay up, but now it has fallen low, so he is going to crumble to his death. He's trying to take out the Spell Slinger for Life on his way out. Gets a couple good hits in. That is very annoying for the Elves, because now they might have to waste a heal on their healer, which is not exactly where she wants those spells to be going, but still, overall, 2-3 archers still online and firing, and here comes some skeleton horsemen from God knows where. Must have been chasing something off, but they're back now, and they'll shut down these 2 wounded Glade Guard. Now, the full health Glade Guard might be more difficult, but it does only have 7 ammunition, so maybe you can just ignore it. Tomb Kings still have 2 archers online, who are starting to fire back in those Glade Guard. Cetra is very, very healthy. And the Sisters of Twilight might, on paper, look like they can duel him. I'm honestly just not sure, because here's the thing. Cetra is also, on paper, a good duelist. So we have 2 duelists that are on paper good, and in my experience, neither of them is very good at dueling. Just not. So I have no idea which of them is more fraudulent. Cetra's good, he's just not good at dueling. Sporkle Stalkers lining up. They're trying to shoot the Sisters of Twilight. Unfortunately, the Elven healer is still alive, so you should just be spending all of your resources killing models, not shooting the Sisters, because the Sisters can get 1 regrowth, and then that undoes all the value you just got, so I do hope to see the Tomb Kings focus more on killing off some stuff. Like, Cetra needs to side charge down these guys. He's losing 2 of his archers to the Wild Ranger Remnants. Nice Usirians will take out the Wild Riders. That's a good use of your spell. Them or the other Wild Rider is the correct target, so I like that a lot. Cetra does need to keep moving, though. As we said, these archers have to be saved. The archers are one of the only advantages the Tomb Kings have left. This Glade Guard is about out of ammo. 2 ammo left. This other one could be knocked out by Cetra. And I keep saying Cetra a lot, but he is going to be the key. If they win this game, Cetra's going to have to put on a hell of a carrying performance. He's got to run around and do stuff. So he's got to cycle charge through these guys, tear out them off, then probably follow them over to that Glade Guard, except that Glade Guard is now out of ammo, so fuck it, you don't care about it at all. He does have a bit of an infantry advantage, and that's kind of what we mentioned is that's all infantry are good for. No one really cares who wins the infantry front line, but now that we get to the late game and there's a bunch of skeleton spears left, if you can take out the last archer and then hold the point, you can have Cetra stand in his own spear support and force the dragon to land onto you and your spear support, or fuck off and you take the point. That's what infantry is good for. Infantry is not about the damage anymore. It is in some matchups, but definitely not Wood Elves versus Tomb Kings. The infantry is kind of a wash. You need them, but you don't need them, like, you know. You need them in the way you need water. It is important, but it's not sexy. Cavalry? Cavalry is sexy. Don't take that out of context. Wild Riders get a nasty regrowth. That is going to help them quite a lot as they keep trying to churn through these skeleton spears who are almost done killing the Wild Rangers. Now Cetra is starting to get back in his Glade Guard. He has taken an awful lot of damage. He's got to be a bit swifter. At this point, I do think it is looking doomed. While I said both these guys are kind of meh duelists, I mean, one is a duelist at 1/2, 1/3 HP, and the other one is a full health duelist. They have 6,000 HP. He still has 4,500, but they aren't a dragon. They have better stats. I did factor in Cetra's massive HP pool when I was thinking who would win the duel. Cetra's now going to charge the Footcaster and does that thing where his cat mount knocks her around. So it doesn't matter that you have bonus versus infantry if you're just going to knock him around all day. We'll see if he actually gets a hit now that he's close. Nope, he's going to walk past it, which is fine. Tomb King's infantry is all gone. Wood Elves infantry is all gone. It is down to just a wounded cavalry, a full health dragon, a healing caster, versus just a wounded kitty cat man. Syrians out as a big middle finger to the Wild Riders. That is actually quite nice. Taking out any mobility support will be quite good. Their terror immunity should have worn off by now, so after all this damage they're taking from Musirians, they should terror out on contact with Cetra, honestly. And boop, there they go. Blade Rider's also terror routing away, Wild Rider's routing away. Wood Elves still hold the victory point, and the Tomb Kings have almost no capture weight left. Their infantry are too low to provide real capture weight. Cetra's taking slow poke from Sisters, but now they're out of ammo. He has 4,000 HP, they have 6,000, and they're about to get a free charge on him, but maybe Cetra can fight back. He doesn't have good dueling spells. It's not like he has the physical resistance or anything. Breath Attack, really good juke out of there from Cetra. He is trying to get his skeletons to capture that point, but they're crumbling right now, which means they're, you know, gonna die soon. And Blade Guard are still firing in, just providing a little bit of a fight. And this is the final attempt for the Tomb Kings to stay in the game. If they get crazy RNG, which they didn't, because already army losses is hitting, but I was gonna say if Cetra just gets hit after hit after hit, maybe they can win this. Not the case. Army losses takes over, and he's going down. How can you compare Chad Hummus to Turin? What? "99% of my games I won because AFK people I lose all my real games." Double A Spotify. That's why you just I know you're in my Discord. You gotta find people on our Discord and just hang out with them. Play some games with them. Hang on. I'll try and help you out in a second. I just got a ping from Tequila Sunset. He's a silly bugger. So, if you out there want to play with other new players, and you're like, what the fuck? I try and save games as fast as possible. Okay. Cool. What are we doing? Okay, so my server, right? You'll land in the landing zone. You'll show up here with all these fine people. Go down to give Rat Ogre roll. Just post something about getting a Rat Ogre roll here, and one of our mods will give it to you, right? Gives you access to our new player only chat, our list of coaches, our replays for coaches, where you can just submit replays from quick battles, from tournaments, whatever. Just grab a replay, throw it in here, and some of our more veteran players will weigh in on your army, weigh in on your play if you want that kind of thing. We also have this best of one practice pit that I've been trying to get off the ground, where it's like only new players have access to this. Now, okay, Phoenix King is posting a bunch because he works a lot on our bot, and he has been doing a lot of good changes to the bot, but there are a lot of new players in here. We have been getting more traction of people getting matched up for games, so I'm happy to see it, and I really want to see it grow, where it's like, this is a space where only other new players play. It's best of one. The bot just matches you and gives you a map. It doesn't track your points or anything, so don't worry about losing. This is literally just the quick battle that is in the main game, but two things. None of the maps are ass, and it's on a Discord, so if someone's being a real asshole to you, just tell them no, because I'm a dick, and then we'll kick them out of the server. So, anyway, if you want to get into multiplayer and you're having issues with quick battle, just join here and use the best one practice pit. If you're feeling spicy, you can also just go to find matches. We have Conquest and Land Battle supported. This is a best of 3 tryhard bot, though, and it does contribute to a leaderboard. So the find matches is a bit more sweaty. If you're not ready for that yet, just join our best of 1 practice pit and play there. Or just play quick battles. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Just throw it out there. Come hang out with Double A Spotify. He's in the tournament and in the chat right now. Also, Ice Power is here, apparently. Boom. Look at that. Just posted to Spotify. I love to see Spotify. Okay. Promotion over. You had lots of good games in my Discord? Good. Good. Happy to hear it. Hopefully more people join. That's the biggest problem with the best of 1 practice pit right now, as we load up a game from Potato and triples is safe. Oh! Oh! Who is triples is safe? Who is this? What the fuck? Hang on. Hey, hold that thought. Miss Rat has to come see this. She has to. Hold on. That is a reference she would love. Okay. Okay. Right back. Hold on. Damn it. He's on the phone. Ugh. Triples is safest. Triples is best. From a show we like. I think you should leave. Oh, it's great. It's great. William Seaton, it's you? Hell yeah. Just know your name is so great. I'm going to be telling my wife about it later. She has a pin. She has a pin she's put on her purse that is Triples is best in its little car. Watches his name has nothing to do with I think you should leave. And I'm making mountains out of nothing. Anyway, we have Potato versus Triples is safe. To finish my thought from earlier, the best of one program on our Discord, people seem to like it. We just need more numbers. We need more people playing so the wait times aren't as long. More Tomb Kings from Potato this time, but we have Tomb Scorpion and double Kemrian War Sphinx. No Necro Sphinx, so no anti-large here. And a Tomb Scorpion, which has been increasing in popularity since it got Terror, and I think it got some collision attacks. Other than that, Skeleton Frontline. 2 Shop to Great Bows, one which is Chosen Gods, and then we have some Skeleton Horsemen, Nakar Horsemen, and Carrion. That is a full Tomb King's rush, honestly. Got triples of the Nova, triples of the Streltsy, and the Grom. Yeah! Love this guy! This is the best guy! Okay. Alright. Kossovite Dervishes for Kislev, Kossars of Spears, 2 Streltsy, a Zargard, and a frontline of Kislevite Warriors with an Ice Witch of Tempest. Ox of Mishka and Hailstorm, 2 really good spells. And then we have Little Grom. Little Grom is almost a must-take in this matchup because he is so good at counter-firing against Ushabti Great Bows. He punishes them so heavily. And he's very hard to take down for the Tomb Kings. He outranges the regular Ushabti pretty good, then the spread shot of the Chosen Gods doesn't do that much damage to him. Snow Leopard Summon is out from the Ice Witch. She is going to try to charge some of these single entities and get a little bit of extra damage out as Usirians hits the Zargard. Usirians is really good against cavalry, but there's not a lot of cavalry to stop here. As the Streltsy are trying to line up a good shot onto Cetra. Somehow they don't get a good volley off. I don't know how you were possibly obstructed, but now the Carrion are here to cause a bit of disruption. And Kislev just has to hold on. They have superior infantry. They have a lot more firepower. But it's just whether or not they can withstand the charges of these Carrion, of the Kemrian War Sphinx, which is taking insane damage, of the Tomb Scorpion. It's a lot of disruption. So if they can't hold on, if they all just break from this disruption and die off, then obviously they lose. But ooh, there's Mordheim Beowulfs. How did I miss those? Hello, friends. Mordheim Beowulfs, good armor piercing. Anti-infantry, but you don't care about that as much. And again, that Dark Blood, constantly reducing the healing that these guys would be getting from Cetra casting his spells or from the Tomb King's army passive. Just anything these guys are touching, not getting any of that healing is pretty big against the Tomb Kings. The summoned Snow Leopard is getting pushed away by the Kemrian War Sphinx, but the Carrion are getting picked off, and that is what I was talking about with, like, can Kislev hold on? Because the Carrion are mostly distractive. As they fade away, you'll get more and more archers back online. Can you just keep firing? Little Grom is about to get hit with Nakar Horseman. He's pretty tanky to the Tomb King's cavalry. None of them are anti-large or armor-piercing outside of Necropolis Knight Halberds, which obviously these are not. So Little Grom can withstand this melee punishment for quite a while, which is why generally he's taken this matchup, because he's pretty safe even to their backline disruption. But there's nothing really rallying to save him. There we go. Now we get some Kossars firing up over to the top end of these Nakar Horsemen. That'll be great to help Little Grom stay alive. Still have Ushabti Great Bows firing. Very close balance of power, very close game right now. As you can see, the Tomb King's infantry is starting to fall apart, and that's when it gets dangerous. And again, you might be like, I thought you said infantry sucks. Infantry doesn't matter. Well, it's contextual. Infantry won't win you the whole game, but if you have infantry advantage, then, like, this current Ice Witch is getting bullied by the Kemrian War Sphinx. Well, if she goes and hides in a bunch of Kislev Halberds, then yeah, that's going to be pretty fucking good. So it's contextual. It's contextual. All right, Ushabti Summon is out. It's going to charge into Zargard. Meanwhile, like I said, dude, Little Grom ain't scared of shit. Nakar Horseman just flat out can't damage him. They are distracting him. They're saving the Ushabti Great Bows by stopping him from shooting. They're doing good work, but this is why you see Little Grom so much. It's not like if he gets caught out, he instantly dies, like versus Dark Elves. Versus Dark Elves, Cold One Knights find Little Grom. Delicious. He's dead. Ice Witch is going to peel for him a little bit. Tomb Scorpion is very healthy, very strong. Usirian's helping take out some of the Kossar Spears. Etc. charges through them. And this Ushabti is fake, and it's actually a lot of bounce power considering how late in the game we are. So when that Ushabti fades away, this bounce power will look quite a bit more even. But still, Tomb Kings are ahead, and I would agree they are ahead. This is going to be huge, though. The Mordheim Beowulf's getting in the back. This is exactly where they want to be as long as Cetra isn't nearby to peel them off with his terror and being spooky. They're just getting nice armor-piercing shots onto helpless Ushabti, tearing them down and getting the balance of power nice and evened up for Kislev. Kislev's infantry all start to break, and that is a huge problem. That means the Khemrian War Sphinx and Cetra can take 1v1s places and not fight on top of enemy halberds, which will be very beneficial for their odds of staying alive in this game. Little Grom's not going to bother with Ushabti Great Bows, seeing that you have melee units dealing with it. He is going to shoot a house. Shoot a house. Point blank range with a fucking cannonball, and the cannonball loses that fight. What is that house made out of? Have to know. Necro Horseman fading away, so Little Grom is free and clear. We will get another Hawks of Mishkan, I believe the last Tomb King's infantry. It should do decent damage, and the leadership debuff might get them to start crumbling a little bit. Now the Hawks unfortunately are going left. Nothing the player can do. Vortexes v Vortexes. But that will save the Skeleton Spearmen a lot of damage that otherwise might have hidden them. Cetra's coming in, and this is going to be a problem for Little Grom. Listen, I'll talk shit all day about Nehekar Horseman doing nothing to Little Grom. Cetra will deal with it. He is in. He gets a big chunk of damage down. And that might be game over for Kislev. You can see the bounce power is still tipping against them a little bit. Well, if you take out their full health, a lot of ammunition left, Little Grom, then that's probably going to be GG. The Beowulfs are killing the Chosen the Gods, which is great. Kislev Warriors are chasing off the Ushabti Great Bows. That's also great. But you still have a wounded cat, but it's a cat. You still have a half-health Cetra and a over half-health Tomb Scorpion. Those three all together can definitely beat up one Ice Witch. When does the Cold Tub release for non-members? Tomorrow. Little Grom's getting bodied currently. Kislev is starting to rally some infantry back, but the Tomb Scorpion is actually doing a good job of peeling them off. Why are you so slow? How are you falling behind Kislevite warriors? Catch up, you stupid Tomb Scorpion bastard. Whatever. Turns around. Dun 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 dun. Watch their HP. They lost like 300. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. You fire blood? Nope. So you're gonna tear out any second now. Ushabti running for the hills, literally. But the Mordheim Beowulfs are hot on their heels. I still think the Mordheim Beowulfs are going to be able to kill off those Ushabti. The only thing I'm getting worried about for the Tomb Kings now is how spread out and long it's taking them to finish this game off, because that capture point's taken up for Kislev. We do have two single entities walking towards it. I honestly, after all the changes, I forget how much capture weight single entities have, so maybe Cetra and the Khemrian War Sphinx can capture that pretty quickly. Maybe they can't. It's some Kislevite infantry about to walk over and ruin their day. I don't fucking know. We're about to find out. As the Mordheim Beowulfs catch up to the Ushabti. Pretty healthy Ushabti. And if Kislev wants a long, drawn-out game where they just slowly capture the point, taking out any balance of power that can prevent you from getting army loss is huge, so taking out this full health Ushabti with your Mordheim Beowulfs is going to be fantastic. Infantry are grouping up to try and take down the Tomb Scorpion. Not going their way, and honestly, some of the infantry should have been sent to point 1, because we can see Cetra and the Khemrian War Sphinx apparently do have enough capture weight to take it relatively fast, and that's probably going to be the death knell of Kislev. If the game going long doesn't mean you default win, then you're absolutely fucked. As the Mordheim Beowulfs lose their attack orders onto the Ushabti for a bit, they get shot in the face a couple times. Now they're back in it. Charge bonus should help them, and then winning in melee combat should also keep them in the fight. You see, charging is plus 15. It's about to wear out. It should get replaced by winning in melee. Strangely, it says the Ushabti are winning, even though they're definitely getting their asses kicked. So I don't know what that's about, but they'll die soon. Kislev's a little doomed, though. Tomb Kings have taken the point. We have some basic archers and an Ice Witch Tempest. Some super dead infantry that one charge from the Khemrian War Sphinx and Cetra will take out. And I would say that the Mordheim Beowulfs can help versus like the Tomb Scorpion and stuff. But they have one leadership while they're kicking the shit out of almost dead Ushabti. I don't imagine they'll do great versus a full health Cetra and Tomb Scorpion. So at this point, not to be rude, just to keep the stream moving, I am going to fast forward because I think I can see the writing on the wall. Kislev regroups a bunch of disparate forces. Cetra walks ominously at the Ice Witch. And Tomb Scorpion's about to chain route all these guys. Wow, did you just do Syrian the Mordheim Beowulfs? That's a middle finger. That was a good game. That was a pretty good game. I think, since the triples is safe guy is in the chat, I'll offer advice if he wants it. Cool. If he doesn't want it, great. I liked your build overall. I really liked your build overall. I would honestly just cut the Zargard because they don't really have a purpose here. Zargard are a debatably defensive unit or a slow push unit. Neither of those are going to help you in this matchup. As you saw, Cetra and the other cats do so much damage to heavy infantry by cycle charging, and also Assyrian still does a lot of damage to them. Chosen the Gods would do a lot of damage to them. Tomb Scorpion does a lot of damage to them. Even basic Skeleton Chariots honestly do a decent amount of damage to them, and then Sporkle Stalkers can kite them out. So it's like, there's a lot of things on this roster they're weak to, and their positive is checks notes, kills a lot of Skeleton Spears? So if I were you, I would cut these guys and get 2 Armored Kossars, actually. Armored Kossars are pretty boss in this matchup, because they're weak to all the same things, but they're half the cost or something, or maybe not exactly half, but whatever, bear with me. So they're still heavy armored, they're still good at churning through skeletons if you need them, but then they can also whip out their pistols and get really good shots against Cetra and the other cat, because they're so tall that pistols will usually hit them. So yeah, I think your build's fine. I would just cut the Zargard and get 2 Armored Kossars instead. Obviously, you'll have to do a little bit of money juggling, because that's not 1-to-1, but like, I think you can find the money somewhere. That's fine. Honestly, you could downgrade all these Kossar spears into regular Kossars, because a lot of the stuff that's attacking you doesn't care about spears, but that one's more of a preference. I don't think that's objectively a mistake. I think the Zargard are unfortunately objectively a mistake. Their boss is hell, but they're not going to do very well. So both builds were pretty strong, both builds were pretty meta. Me taking with one issue with one unit on a roster means that army list is pretty good. For the Tomb Kings, I liked it a lot. I liked the addition of the Tomb Scorpion. He was clearly very disruptive and annoying. I would be concerned with this specific build from Potato. I'd be concerned about Warbear Riders, because normally Warbear Riders aren't good in this matchup because of the ROR Sphinx. The ROR Sphinx can duel disproportionately well versus them as long as it has some support, obviously. If you throw just the ROR Warbears versus just the Sphinx in the middle of a field, yeah, the Warbears will kill it, but I'm talking about usually you'll have these 400 gold Skeleton Horsemen, usually you'll have Carrion, usually you'll have Skeleton Spears, something interfering with the fight, and then the Necro Sphinx will do really well versus them. But without the Necro Sphinx, I worry that this build might get run over by Warbears. Which, like, there's a reason I'm not telling triples is safe to just grab Warbears, because that would counter this build, but Warbears are bad versus a lot of other things Tomb Kings can take, which is, you know, when you're planning a build, you want to plan versus the scope of what your opponent could bring, not what they specifically brought. Anyway, there was too much detail that no one cares about. Let's move on to La Luna Pruna versus Impended Pabo. Whatever. Fuck it. Hot Tub Stream and Beans when Rat Tub Stream. La Luna Pruna is my personal bet to win this tournament today. Luna's pretty good, especially at Lizardmen. Seems to be their specialty. Now, obviously, they're in a new player tournament, so would I put them up against Alfredino? No, but on their Lizardmen, they're pretty scary. For Luna, we have red-crested skinks, including the ROR, some random skink cohorts, some with javelins, some without. We have skink skirmishers, Razordawn hunting packs, 4 Cold One Spear Riders, and a Fire Salon with Burning Head and Cascading Fire Cloak. And a Rev Crystal for a little bit of healing. On the other side, our first High Elves of the day. This is also our first Lizards, to be fair. Valyrian Reaver Archers, Towns of Torquelada, paired up with Lothern Seaguard on either side, a Spearman front line, Fireborn, Omen of Assyrian, Tyrion, and a Mage of Fire. So a very fire-heavy build. The Talons and the Fire Mage going to provide fire weakness for all the Lizardmen. I predict a very nasty Burning Head down the front line of, I guess, either side, because I forgot we have a Fire Salon too. This is just a fire in battle. Fuck the Razordawn hunting packs. Come back with a Salamander hunting pack and let's just do fire all day. As the Burning Head skates along the back line of the Spearman, hits this Spearman full on, they're going to tear out on contact with that Rev Crystal. There they go, somehow still around. But that Burning Head was devastating against the High Elves. Jesus. Tyrion's Sunfang also doing fire damage to the Skinks, and in comes a banishment onto the Townsdorf Kaleda. Here comes the first Burning Head from the Lizardmen. Not the Lizardmen, on the Lizardmen from the High Elves, but the High Elves unfortunately going to hit their own troops. No! It's a disaster. High Elves having a pretty rough start. Now they're Fireborn and the Omen of Assyrian and Tyrion. They're big expensive pieces that honestly altogether cost about half their frickin' army. Those guys are just starting to get involved, so you're going to see things go a little bit better now. Is that a piercing bolts of burning? Oh, I'm so here for it. They're not dodging. Holy shit. That spell can do a lot of damage if they don't dodge. The main reason you don't see it much is because it's very easily dodged. Tyrion, the Omen, and the Fireborn going all in on sniping out the Salon Mage Priest. I think they realized this game isn't going great for them, so they wanted to turn it around. But this is a problem, is now they're getting countercharged and surrounded by Cold and Spear Riders. Fireborn are going to get eaten alive. There is no healing for them on this High Elf roster. They didn't bring it, so the Fireborn are about dead, and that is a pretty huge loss for the forces of the High Elves this early on. Most of the archers are shut down. The front line is taking a lot of damage, and how the hell is the balance of power this even? I feel like the High Elves are getting their shit kicked in. Another Burning Head is out. I don't know who cast it. I don't know who that was for, but it's here now, and you can't ignore it. Skink's still slowly running down High Elf spears. Only one spear remains. It was the one that was in the back, kept in reserve. Omen of Assyrian and Tyrion trying to fight their way out, getting a couple terror outs, but in comes a full health, another Colden Spear Rider. And Razor Hunting Packs are just in the back, waiting for anybody to show themselves. They'll fire in if they need to. I feel like the Lizardmen are killing it, but another piercing bolts of burning that the Lizardmen are not going to dodge. They don't see it coming. Luna, no! Luna, run away! Ow. 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 So much damage. And now with the Talons of Torquelada, the Omen of Assyrian is doing extra damage because all these guys are on fire. Tyrion is also doing extra damage. I forgot he has fire damage now. And the Fire Mage is going to go back after the Fire Slan. Omen and Tyrion are now kicking tons of ass because those piercing bolts of burning are wrecking the Lizardmen. 1,500 value from that Firecaster. Omen of Assyrian goes to help the Fire Mage. Heal the Slan, get some good damage out. Colin Spear Riders with Terror immunity now, gonna surround the Mage and beat her up. They should actually do a lot of damage to her, so she'll have to be careful. As the Razor Hunting Pack tries to help the Slan a little bit, they do get distracted, they lose orders because they're just a ranged unit in a melee unit's world. Bounce power is back in Lizardmen's favor slightly as they have routed off. Officially, all of the High Elf infantry are now routing. It is just Tyrion, it is just the Omen of Assyrian and the Fire Mage left for the High Elves of any form of reputable damage. Now Tyrion, my guy, you have your Heart of Avalorn heal, you really need it, but also everything in this fucking game causes fire damage, so don't friendly fire yourself with Sunfang like you just did, because you set yourself on fire for a little bit, and that's scary if you need your heal, and you need your heal really badly, as your mage is routing. Balance of power is getting dangerously low, and Tyrion has the problem of routing before he gets his heal. He is not ITP, so he is possible to terror out, which nothing around here causes terror, but still, it's there. He's getting so spooked. I like how he also is frightened by enemy unit. He doesn't have fear and he doesn't have immune to psychology. Now he gets ITP because of the Omen of Assyrian coming back in, and the Fire Mage is back with is that a piercing bolts of burning with a poop tornado at the same time? Luna, you gotta dodge these. Oh god, it's so much damage as the Razordons are firing up into the Omen of Assyrian. The Omen of Assyrian needs its heal, Tyrion needs his heal, and honestly, if they both get their heals, you're gonna see that balance of power swing wildly into the favor of the High Elves. I guarantee you will be shocked how much that bar will move if both of these guys get their heal. The Omen is about to 50-50 shot. Is it 50-50? Or does it happen every time? Chance of unit instantly dying. Okay, I don't know what the odds are on it exactly, but if that Omen gets its heal, the High Elves are still definitely in this. Tyrion will get his heal, it's just whether or not he'll still be fighting when he does it. But right now, he's looking good. Right now, he's feeling fine. He is next to the Rev Crystal, which causes terror, and Tyrion is very spooky scared of terror. Omen of Assyrian's getting nice and low. Army losses is gonna hit before the heals come in! Oh, shit! The High Elf player is going to be so mad. He's like, well, one of you two fuckers take just a little bit more damage. Just a little bit more damage. What's wrong with the audio? One of you two fuckers take just a little bit more damage. Just a little bit more. I don't know. Sounds okay to me. What's wrong with it? What happened? What happened? Love how it's mandatory RNG for Phoenixes, but the Skaven weapons team is not even a toggle ability like SFL. Real talk, I thought Luna was screwed. When that, like, third Piercing Bolts of Burning absolutely fucked up another blob, I was like, that's too many. They've taken far too much damage. But Impenetrable didn't get either of his heals. He didn't get either of them. Oh, that is a disaster for the High Elves. He's got to be so pissed. Because his Piercing Bolts casts were so good. Were so good. You've not seen Piercing Bolts in such a long time, you thought they were coming from the Phoenix. Nah, bro, you gotta dodge. You gotta dodge that shit. The audio seems kind of deafened. That's fair. Are you just saying it's like, I'm just asking because obviously it's a new setup and we're working on it. Is it quieter where you just mean turn the volume up on my end? Or do you actually have an issue with like the quality of the sound? Because with this microphone, it requires like a preamp and a bunch of stuff, which makes the audio a little crisper. You can't hear me clicking as much. You don't hear as much stuff in the background. So I was hearing people were complaining about my old setup. My old setup, sometimes when I would talk, you'd get a bunch of background static. Oh, anyway, cool. So let's try and find some people we haven't cast. I haven't cast any Versoc games, but we did just cast Luna, so let's take a look here. Cast you. I don't know if we've cast Lucky Spotify yet. Lucky Spotify's in the chat, but I don't know if we've cast him yet. We've cast Airstrikes and Mini Scout. There's Mini Scout and Airstrikes, but from that side, so I'll just delete that because it's obviously doubled up. Cast Potato and Parry. We've cast Triple's the safest impenetrable. Okay, so it looks like we just need Lucky Spotify and Versoc for names I don't recognize. We'll start with Spotify just because we just saw some Lizardmen. I think you have less bass. Well, shit. Lucky Spotify versus LIALH4. Lahial 4. Bracket is at the end of round 3. People are playing their last round 3 game. As I'm gonna save some replays and check it on the tournament. So tournament's about to enter round 4. After round 4, Big JP, who is hosting this thing, will determine who the semifinalists are, and we'll watch 3 games live. But allow me to save up some more replays. Get back into this thing. Sorry guys, probably my dying headphones. Here's Mr. Bolak. I think you're fine. I appreciate that everyone else is saying the audio is fine, but I was looking for feedback with this new setup, so just knowing that it sounds a little different is fine. But as long as it's not glitching out or anything, it's not going to affect this stream. So I appreciate the feedback from both ends. Appreciate most people saying it's fine. But also, I don't think he was trying to poo-poo on me. I think he was just offering feedback. We get an Exalted Bloodthirst here, which I did do the Khorne guide with Scarbrand, and spoilers, he likes this guy. So we have Deathbringer, Bloodthirst, and Bellower of Fury. We have triple gold chevron Chaos Furies of Khorne, which honestly, that's wild as hell. 5 Bloodletters, and then the Fleshhounds and a Fleshhound ROR. For the Beastmen, we have Razorgore Herds, Khorngors, Ungor Spearman Herds, Pestigores along the front line. Shadows cast with Pit of Shades and Melkoths, and then Morgar the Shadowgave, Bestigores, and a Gorbel. That is a wild Beastman build. Razorgore Herds don't want to be fighting Fleshhounds. They wanted to fight armor-piercing, well, armored units like Knights or Skull Crushers or something. But rear-charging Khorngors will be really good versus the Fleshhounds, so as long as the Razorgores hold them in place, they'll be fine. Bloodletters of Khorne should win this frontline fight against the Beastmen. Pestigores are no match for the forces of Khorne, so Bloodletters will be fine, but this is a disaster in the back. Furies are already crazy expensive, but especially triple gold chevron Furies still gonna die very fast, and that's like 800 gold per thing. That's just demonic instability crumbling away. So that is a disaster for Khorne. You can see the bounce power already reflects how much value they've lost just from Furies dying. So 2 of the very expensive Furies are gone. One is still healthy. The other one is not super healthy, fighting a Bray Shaman, but should be able to route the Bray Shaman, which is super worth it. Just saying they took a lot of damage, but oh god. Okay, all of a sudden they're taking a lot of damage. The Bray Shaman's fighting back. What the hell? Pit of Shades predictive cast onto the Bloodletters. This Bray Shaman is able to cast a Pit of Shades to save his friends while he himself is in major danger. In comes the Sword of Khorne on the Razor Gore Herds, but they are large size, so the Sword of Khorne won't do that much damage to them, but it does do some. The Fleshhounds are thinking about demonic stability crumbling. So are the Hounds of the Bloodhound as the Khorne Gores continue to tear them apart. The Chaos Furies of Khorne do rout the Bray Shaman of Shadows. Can any of the Centaurs come over and help out? They do have a Bestigor herd and a Pestigor herd doing their best to fight. Now, Morgar, you just used one of your summons. Is it your natural summon? No, that was your summon that happens when something next to you gets super wounded. And now the Bloodthirster is surrounded by armor-piercing Bestigors. He has 2 Bestigor herds. Wild. Anyway, he's surrounded by Bestigors and Chaos Spawn. He will take a lot of damage for that, as you can see. Morgar is just trying to heal up next to him. Now, Chaos Furies got intercepted by the Centaurs, allowing the Bray Shaman to come back. If he can throw Melkoths onto that other Khorne Fury, he'll be fine. And the Khorne Gores, Razor Gore herds catch those last Fleshhounds. Knock them out. Bloodletters are starting to fall apart. Still, the Exalted Bloodthirster is trying to chase down Morgar, but a Gorebull comes over, tells him to mind his own business. I do find it funny to see something that looks like that running away from something that looks like that. I mean, is he scary? Yeah. Would I expect a greater demon with flame eyes to run away from an angry cow with an axe? No. Morgar's second Chaos Spawn summon is out, so the bounce power is a little fraudulent. It's a little fraudulent right now, because there are 2 Chaos Spawn summons out. I don't think when they fade away, it's going to go significantly back towards the middle, as there are still a lot of Beastmen infantry left. Ooh, nice little breath attack down. There's a lot of Beastmen infantry left. There's a full health Gorebull, and Morgar is slowly healing up, so I would definitely agree that Beastmen are quite ahead. Just not used to it at first. Eh. We'll keep working on the audio stuff if there are actual, like, not necessarily issues, but just can keep increasing the quality. But I'm glad it's working for this stream, because I literally got it set up last night, so we're very early in the fuck around stage. My big goals today is that you can't hear too much clicking, and that you don't hear too much background noise. If my audio is just clean and it's mostly just me, then I'll call today a success, and we'll do balancing stuff later. Anyway, Gorebull is keeping this Exalted Bloodthirster honest as he's trying to ignore him and get onto the Bray Shaman to knock him out of the game and provide a little bit of balance of power, but in comes a Pit of Shades to knock out those Bloodletters. The Bloodthirster is getting killed by army losses. Look, army losses isn't even demonic instability crumbling him yet. Now it is. But he was at negative 47. He wasn't at negative 55, so he just has such high base leadership. Too funny. I like the idea of the Khorne build. I really think that just triple gold chevroning all your Furies just is not worth it, unfortunately. It's a lot of money. And the increase of stats doesn't matter because their one stat that is the biggest problem is their leadership. And just like plus 10 or plus 8 or whatever it is after you do all the gold chevrons to their leadership isn't enough to like solve that problem. As we can see, some of them still demonic instability crumbled at pretty high HP, and especially when they get recharged by Centaurs and stuff. Always I like the concept of the build. Bestigors did well, Khorne Gores did very, very well. Razor Gore herds did shockingly well. I thought when they got into a 2v2 fight with Fleshhounds, the Fleshhounds would beat them, but then it just kind of went nowhere until the Khorne Gores showed up and killed the Fleshhounds. So that one's fucked up. Like, honestly, if I was Spotify, I would have done the same thing. I thought the Fleshhounds would beat the Razor Gores pretty quick and you could move on, and they just ground with them for like 6 years. Been watching older videos is much improved compared to those. Nice. Now I want to hear it. Oh, just when I start, I hadn't said anything. Been watching older videos is much improved compared to those. Nice. Now I want to hear it. Boom. I got it. It does sound a little echoey, like a little bit. Alright. Alright, cool. 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 So it's Khorne versus Beastmen. We got Lucky Spotify on the stream. I know I need Versac right there, but I'm going to check my messages and see if the tournament host has something for me. Tournament is in the final Swiss bracket. So we're on round 4. Okay, so Versock. Let's see if any of the new ones I have. Someone I haven't seen. Seen Curio. What the what? Okay. I know we just cast Lucky Spotify, but you can't just scroll past something like that. What the fuck is this? I have to see what it is. And there's Versock, who we're gonna watch anyway. But what the fuck is this? Skull Taker and Dingus Pingus? I honestly forgot his name because I've seen him like literally once. Versus Skarbrand. Both sides have like no units at all. I just have to see it. I have to. For Versock's army, this is the only player we haven't seen today so far, from what I've been able to accumulate through replays. Wrathful Reaper and Bellows of Endless Fury. He didn't even take the Rampage with Skarbrand. He just took a bunch of melee buffs. Hounds of the Blood Hunt, Minotaurs, the Grey Opens, 2 of those. We have the Hellforge, Bellower, Skull Cannon, ROR, triple Bloodletters, and we do have the Bloodwake Berserkers. On the other side, for other Khorne, we have Scar Bloodwrath, the Skull Taker. He is on his Juggernaut mount with a bunch of buffs, including Bloody Onslaught. Then we have Blood Letter Frontlines, including the Hellforge Host, Exalted Bloodletters. 1 Minotaur with Great Weapons, the Wrath Mongers, ROR as well, and then Flesh Hounds in the back. Cool. Looks like Skarbrand's going in deep, so shall we. He's in a 2v1 against 2 very good duelists. Lots of debuffs onto him. Lots of debuffs. Oh, God. Oh, boy. He better run away. Look at all those debuffs. Look at them all. The Hounds of the Blood Hunt and the Minotaurs are coming up to help out a little bit. They are going to push away the Bloodwake Berserkers and Scar Bloodwrath, but Scar gets all the way through. He is determined to keep this fight going, and Skarbrand is already down to half HP, but in come the Minotaurs. This is it. This is the bait. He has Wrathful Reaper procced. He's going to take so much damage that eventually he'll also have Fueled by Rage. Yes, he has all the weapon strength in the world. He's taking so much damage, though. Can he hold on? As he and his Minotaurs try and fight back against these guys, he just needs to get some serious melee hits in. Skarbrand, fuck him up. As the boys hold back to back against all these Minotaurs, they are starting to take significant damage, but so is Skarbrand, who's already crumbling away. Can he get the Tier 2 army ability off? Can he give him the Unbreakable? As he falls back, he has a lot of HP left. I mean, 1,000 is still a lot. Can Skarbrand's leadership rally? If Tsarina Katerin can rally at 64 HP, your dumbass can rally at 1,000. You are a greater demon of Khorne. You will get your shit together, sir. As he now goes to fight Flesh Hounds, he gets surrounded. He starts to want to get his ability to crumble again. You little bitch! You cowardly fuck! As Skarbrand's already out of this shit. Skarbrand, you pathetic asshole. I hate Skarbrand. I hate him so much. There's a lot of players that tell me Skarbrand is secretly good, and then I see him play, and I see him just get shot to death or die in melee or do something else dumb and just fucking die, and I'm like, that's it. Skarbrand sucks ass. I hate him. I hate him so much. He's like my favorite looking character in all of Warhammer 3. But he's disappointed me so many times. That was a funny game, though. I don't regret casting it. It's just sad that Skarbrand shit the bed that hard. Now, do I expect him to beat Scar and Skull Taker? No, right? I get it. But seeing like a high elf mage hero will come back with 4 HP and cast 3 regrowths onto Imrik and the Fireborn before shattering, and watching Skarbrand with 1,200 HP, and he's like, I can't do it, my little body. My little body hurts so much. Ow, I'm gonna just crumble. Ow. Ugh. What up, Olaf? Olaf, are you the Olaf that I have to fight in the tournament next? Olaf, or are you a different Olaf? Alright, so we were gonna cast this game, but I got distracted by that shiny one. So here's Versock again. We did just watch him, but I did want to see this game because of Nikai. What a handsome disappointment, just like you. Nice. Olaf, why aren't you the Olaf that I have to fight next to my tournament? You could be, if you wanted to be. Will Luna playing the Lizardmen? Again, is my prediction for winning the tournament today. We'll see. I'm happy to be upset. I'm happy to be surprised. But they are a very good player, and they're on the Lizardmen. 1,001 airstrikes on Grand Cathay is also kind of spooky. We'll have to see. This time we have Nakai the Wanderer, who did receive some buffs the last couple patches and now is strong. Not necessarily the best Lizardman Lord, but he is very strong. You are not trolling at all if you take him. I think salons are better in almost every situation, but Nakai can do very well if you need a bruiser who does the best fucking dance. Do the dance. Yeah, dancing man! Goes straight through the Bloodwake Berserkers. Anyway, much faster. We have Red Crest Skinks, King Course Javelins, 1 Razordon Hunting Pack, and 4 Spear Cold Ones with a Skink Priest with Flock of Doom and Manticore on them. On the other side, for Khorne, we have Khorne Gores, Marauders of Khorne Dual Weapons, and then we do have the Bloodwake Berserkers, Blood Beasts of Khorne, some Minotaurs of Great Weapons, and a Blood Speaker on the Chaos War Shrine of Khorne. Nakai gives himself 40 more melee attack with his Primal Roar. He is going to beat up this Blood Seeker super badly, but with his Rampage, he might not be able to break out if something bad happens to him, like these Blood Beasts coming back over, or the Bloodwake Berserkers coming to hang out with Nakai. His Rampage wears off, he's good, he's fine. And keep rampaging through. Khorne is very ahead on the balance of power. Why? It doesn't feel like they are. Why? What the hell is that? Murderous Exhortations, minusing the leadership of these guys as he runs in, does a little bit of damage with it as well. The damage is pretty underwhelming, but it is there, technically. Minotaurs are pushing off Golden Spear Riders on the far side, while Skink Skirmishers continue to fuck around. Now, Khorne's infantry are getting beat up pretty bad. We have the Bloodwake Berserkers at half HP, and that is about it for the infantry that's actually still in the fight. We have Khorne Gores and Marauders routing in every direction. The Blood Speaker is taking some damage here and there. He still has 2 Blood Beasts that are very healthy in the center, and he has some Minotaurs on the flanks who are damaged. Not dead, but damaged. Razordon Hunting Packs need to find something to shoot at. Shoot at the tall Blood Speaker. Shoot at the big old Blood Speaker, boy. You see that flag? You see that flag up on that hill? It says, hey, shoot me right here. Shoot that guy. Shoot him right in the face. The Razordons are moving. They're going to shoot at the oncoming Minotaurs instead, and I do kind of want to see them chop those guys up, so I'll leave it in the background so you can see it if you want to. But meanwhile, there's a blob fight going on. Flock of Doom and Nakai are going nuts, but Nakai is taking a lot of damage in the meantime. Here we go. Get shredded, you fucking nerds! Oh god, there's like 500 HP, there's like 700 HP, 800 HP, oh god, we all died. And they're all dead. Lit. But the Blood Beasts have noticed this and are not fans. They're going to come somersaulting in and take care of the Razordons themselves. Razordons, not good melee, don't like that, gonna run away. We do have Red Crest Skinks and Skink cohorts able to do a little bit of healing. The Lizardmen are pulling ahead on the balance of power for the first time this game. In comes a rear charge from very healthy Cold One Spear Riders. The Blood Speaker is starting to take some damage too, but Nakai has not gotten through this scot-free. If Nakai gets sniped out, that will make several of the Skinks a little more cowardly. Easier to rout off the battlefield. Blood Beasts of Khorne peeled away from the Razordon Hunting Packs. Now the Razordons have turned around and started firing up into them as well. Bloodwake Berserkers are living their best life. They are churning through an awful lot of Skinks and Lizardmen, protecting their Blood Speaker Lord. Golden Spear Riders get rampaged by Nakai, but that might be a bad thing. We'll see, as they're currently in a fight they wouldn't love. They might want to back off and get some... I want to back off and get another charge going, if you know what I mean. But since you're currently rampaged, I guess you don't have an option to do that. I guess you're just stuck here. As Bloodwake Berserkers get a Horn of Khorne. That's overkill. They don't need a fucking Horn of Khorne. They already had 62 melee attack. Blood Speaker's getting very low as he's now surrounded by Golden Spear Riders. Wrath of the Pilgrimage of Skulls. Wow, making these Blood Beasts unbreakable, but still, I mean, not unkillable. They are gonna fucking die. 200 HP left on them as they continue to fall. Murderous Exhortations is out, lowering the leadership of these guys, doing a bit of damage, but it's not nearly enough as Nakai and now the armor-piercing Cold One Spear Riders take him down. Army losses hits. And that's GG. Woof woof, mother enjoyers. Damn. Khorne infantry best in the game, so Overtune gets wrecked by Skinks. Okay. Marauders of Khorne uniquely suck. They are awful. No, they're terrible. Marauders of Khorne are my least favorite unit in the entire game. I don't know why these motherfuckers fail every single time. Other than that, though, Khorne infantry is pretty good. Minotaurs and Blood Beasts did alright. Chaos Warhounds, I don't know where they were, but they got shellacked by something, so that was not great for them. Blood Speaker was a decent little support guy. For La Luna, Kai did well, Red Crest Skinks did well, Skink cohorts and Skink skirmishers did well. So did the Golden Spirits. Okay, everything did great. I was waiting for something to not do well, but everything did great. So Fuck me, I guess. Where's the tournament at? One person is done with round 4, so I should have time for another replay. At this point, since I've cast everybody, let's just find something that looks interesting. Triple Waywatcher Kite. We have Kislev. I mean... Hey, he took 2 armored Okay, well, I have to take... He took 2 armored Kossars. Now I have to cast it. I don't know about taking 2 armored Kossars versus High Elves, because I was talking about versus Doom Kings, but... I don't hate it. I don't hate it. So we have triples is safe. Impenetrable versus impenetrable. Impenetrable. Impenetrable.
The whole front hears us.
Sorry, I'm texting my wife. Okay. What do we got? What do we got? Kislev and High Elves. For Kislev, we have some Wing Lancers, Kossar Spears, Streltsy, regular Kossars, Kislevite Warriors, Little Grom, and of course, an Ice Witch. Ooh, this time of Ice, not of Tempest. Death, Frost, and Ice Maid's Kiss. Like it. Solid build. On the other side, for the High Elves, we have triple Illyrian Reaver Archer, Techless, with Bound Fiery Convocation. Then he has Net, Regrowth, and Flock of Doom, so a lot of spells there. The Fireborn, other Dragon Princes, Lothan Seaguard, and White Lions of Krace mixed in with Spearman for that armor piercing. Little Grom is just going to shoot the Fireborn all game long, force Techless to regrowth them, but also it's very hard to regrowth Little Grom shots because the cannonballs themselves take out models, which the regrowth can't resurrect. So, some of the damage is kind of permanent. Sorry, not sorry. In come the White Lions of Krace. High Elves do have more concentrated melee infantry, so we'll have to see these armored Kossars use a few of their pistol shots, but then throw their bodies on the line to get in the way of the White Lions of Krace. Kislev seems to be doing quite well, though. Wing Lancers taking the fight with Dragon Princes. Dragon Princes lack armor piercing, so this is a bit of a wet noodle fight, and we have ranged units firing over the top, it looks like. Bound Fiery Convocation is out. Do they notice in time to dodge? It does not look like they will be dodging anytime soon. You guys are about to get roasted. Oh, there's the dodge! A little late, but he dodges most of the damage, so we take those. Take the shit out of those. White Lions of Krace charging into the Streltsy did take a bunch of damage. Now the Streltsy pull out their axes and they say, oh, you thought you got onto a helpless ranged unit. This ranged unit ain't so helpless, mother fedger. We're gonna start axing these fools. Now the White Lions are obviously better in melee than the Streltsy, but the Streltsy do fight back. Significant armor piercing melee damage. You can see the White Lions are actually gonna rout soon. Kislev's backline is still entirely online and doing great. The Fireborn get a regrowth, and they even rear charge the Wing Lancers, but the Fire Blood Pass for the Wing Lancers keeps them in the fight for so long. The Fireborn have taken crazy amounts of damage, even with the regrowth, so have the Dragon Princes. And Techless got shot by something. Got his ass handed to him, so an Ice Witch just walks up and hits him in the butt as another little Grom shot goes through the Fireborn. The High Elves just can't catch a break, but this might be the break they needed. If somehow the Fireborn can hold on long enough, they can kill this Ice Witch very quickly. The front line of Kislev, those Kislevite warriors, the peasants with the halberds, have also fallen apart. We've Wing Lancers in the distance that need to be rallied, that need to be brought back to the main fight. But the Fireborn are getting too low. They can't deal with the Ice Witch. They can't kill her off. There will be no successful Lord Snipe. Kislev has to rally the last of their ranged units. Regular Kossars getting eaten by White Lions of Krace. Borscht, motherfucker. Hell Cannons should be buffed. Hell Cannons are okay, but they could use a buff, yeah. They're not terrible, but also I don't think a buff would break them. A lot of people just sleep on them. Yeah. Kossar Spears, the Fireborn still chasing down the Ice Witch Vice, getting a lot of good damage out on her. Meanwhile, other Dragon Princes got to Little Grom, and they're poking him down slowly, so some kind of unit somewhere will have to be rallied to deal with this. As the Fireborn are apparently a lot braver than Scarbrand, because these fuckers are fighting to the end, as Scarbrand was already crumbling because he was so scared earlier. Techless is down to 400 HP. He's currently getting hit with the Death Frost. Ooh, that might actually just kill him off. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1... Does not kill him, and with 53 HP, he gets a regrowth onto himself he's so desperately needed. He did not overcast it because he was worried it would kill him, and now the Dragon Princes have surrounded the Ice Witch of Ice. She might just die. Little Grom takes a shot out onto the Spearman, gets really good side shot damage down. Techless's heal is going to take him nice and high, though. Meanwhile, Lothan Seaguard are fighting Wing Lancers in the backline. In comes a Fiery Convocation bound. It is going to kill some Illyrian Reavers, but maybe that is worth it as the Streltsy start to dodge. The Kossars haven't dodged yet, so they're going to take the full brunt of the damage. Goodbye, Kossar with Spear. Goodbye, Ice Witch of Ice. And this could be a High Elf comeback if you take out the Kislev caster. Teclis still running around free as a bird. And Little Grom's gonna turn around and say, hey, Fireborn, I heard you were trying to rally. Bam! Down to one model. The final Fireborn is like, wait a second, where did all my bros go? And he charges back in, shatters, and runs away. Little Grom now turns to fire at the other Dragon Princess coming straight at him. Does not get the shot off before he gets into melee. Meanwhile, Streltsy and Kossars are turning around to do a little bit of peeling for him. Kislev has a lot of green health bars around the map, but they're all very cheap units. Can the High Elves just flock a doom spam, cycle charge their way to victory? I don't know, but taking out Little Grom is a good first step. That's probably the last way to kill Teclis, guaranteed, is if Little Grom just shoots at him for the rest of the game. But the Dragon Princes are not able to do it yet. The leadership is falling as they're getting shot from all sides. Little Grom's going to hold on, so that does mean Teclis is still in danger. If Little Grom rallies, you can just fire up over at him. Take him out. Streltsy are back in it, firing downhill into these Lothern Sea Guards, who are shielded and in the trees. They won't take that much damage from the Streltsy. They're not that scared of it, but the Fireborn, not the Fireborn, regular Dragon Princes did fail in their mission. Little Grom is back alive. What will he do? Will he shoot at the Dragon Princes that are retreating, or will he shoot at Teclis? Lots of good options. Streltsy set up a firing squad onto Teclis, who doesn't seem to notice that he's in their crosshairs. Ow, ow, Teclis, ow! Teclis lost about 250 HP. He's starting to dodge as best he can as the kitty cat has joined me for the cast. Hi, kitty cat. How you doing? Now Teclis is running forward. Does Teclis have a regrowth for himself? Haven't seen it yet. Charges Little Grom. And other Streltsy, I mean, they're just lining up the rear shots onto Teclis. This is going to be the end of him as he's pinned against the bears. The bears are nipping at him. The bullets are flying. Teclis is doomed. No airstrikes. Triples is safest. Triples is best. He wondered. Did it. Streltsy did very nicely. Winged Lancers did their damn jobs. Little Grom did great. And aside from Impenetrable, he was not denied his heals this time. Tyrion and the Arcane Phoenix didn't fuck him over. Dragon Princes and the Fireborn, Dragon Princes and the Fireborn did fine. Lunar Reaver Archers got run off pretty badly, and a lot of the infantry was doing its job, but just too. How goes it, human boy? It goes pretty well, Contrarian Code. Pretty well. Who dares ping me? Okay, I heard this one was good. There's only one game left in round 4 before we're ready for semifinals. So, I heard this one was good. I'll cast it quick. Curio versus 1001 airstrikes. And I'll message JP that... You got a Skaven champion yet? There's no Skaven today at all. No one picked the rats. No one. Which, to be fair, rats suck.
Soldiers,
this is not a quick game. Good.
The Emperor
for Grand Cathay and 1001 airstrikes, we have Yembo with the Emperor's Executioner and Net as his only spell. Front line of Jade Warriors, and we do have a Grand Cannon. Shut up, Yembo. Sorry about him. He's so talky. 5 Iron Hail Gunners, and then we have Jade Lancers along the flanks. Looks like 4. Yeah, 4 Jade Lancers. On the other side, we have Bone Giant. Bone Giants are very good against traditional cannon models. Bone Giants are quite good at actually hitting the models themselves and knocking down your damage potential. Skeleton Spear Frontline, Skeleton Archers, double Kemrian War Sphinx, Arc in the Black, and then I saw a Necrotect somewhere. Ah, he's back in the woods with a Chosen of the Gods, a Skeleton Spearman, and the Necrotect, of course, has Reese. 5 SE? I don't know. Not my problem, not my tournament. I'm not dealing with it. I refuse to. You can't make me. Bone Giant's still dueling. Kemrian War Sphinx gets a great charge on the Jade Lancers. Jade Lancers, non-armor piercing, non-anti-large here. Shut up, OBS Studio. You can see on the charge, took them down to half HP and already terror-routed them. As for the Grand Cathay cannons, they're down to 3 models out of 4 as the Bone Giant lines up another shot. That is 2 models out of 4, already down to half capacity. Jade Lancers did suicide charge for the Chosen of the Gods, but a restore is going to heal them up while Spearmen fight these Jade Lancers in the woods. Yeah, that's going to be a bad engagement. And Khorne War Sphinx is just waiting for them to come out, then it'll pounce. Pounce like a wolf. Like a wolf. That's what that thing reminds me of. I can't think of any other animal that might be more appropriate that does pounce. I think I have to go with wolf. The cannons are officially out of models. There's nothing to counter-fire the Bone Giant. It even just shatters outright. So goodbye, cannons. Fated Buna from Arkan takes up the Jade Lancers. And Grand Cathay is forced to move up. But so far, this early game is going very, very bad for Grand Cathay. They've lost a lot of their Jade Lancers. They lost their cannon. And for what? Most new players probably don't want to deal with half their army constantly routing, aka escaping their greenskins. Rude. Rude! Bone Giant is now free and clear to shoot at whatever he wants. I'm curious what he will decide to shoot at. As this Khorne War Sphinx routes off the Jade Lancers, and that's about it. We can see all 4 Jade Lancers on our screen, and the healthiest one is at like a quarter HP. Brutal. Bone Giant might honestly just want to shoot at Yembo. Do some damage to him. This thing's pounced like a ferret. Yeah, good hit on Yembo. Just kind of poke him down. We have some Skeleton Horsemen in the back that might have been forgotten. They still haven't moved, and they should probably. I also don't know what the Chosen of the Gods is still hiding in the woods for. They need to get forward and start shooting at the Iron Hail Gunners. Looks like both sides are trying to set up, so I'm going to times 2 speed for just a bit. Ooh, Khorne War Sphinx charging straight into the Iron Hail Gunners, and then he gets netted. He might honestly die here. Iron Hail Gunners have like Chaos Dwarf Blunderbuss levels of damage. That Khorne War Sphinx is just sitting right in front of him. Yenbo threatens to get in the way, but doesn't obstruct him just yet. It's already 2/3 HP off of it. The Jade Warrior front line is moving up. We're gonna have to see the Chosen of the Gods get a lot more done. Yeah, that's a dead Khorne War Sphinx. Arkan also charges in, gets shot a bunch. It's a good comeback from Grand Cathay so far. Their Jade Warriors should beat all these skeletons in melee. There's only 2 archers and they're both pretty fucked up. Maybe they'll be okay there. Chosen of the Gods do need to, like, do other shit. Just camping in the forest and shooting at already super wounded Jade Lancers is not worth their time at all. They need to use their cluster shots on these infantry. They haven't been doing that. Iron Hills have rallied, so that Cat's charge unfortunately did nothing. But Arkan Skeleton Summon kills off an entire Iron Hill gunner. A lot of, will you figure it out, OBS Studio? Hey! What is the equivalent of 1v1 on Rust in this game? I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to make a note for myself to figure out why OBS Studio is doing that after the stream, because I read some stuff online and I restarted my router before this stream and that didn't help at all. So, I don't know. Jade Warriors fighting against Skeleton Spearmen. It's a long, slow grind, but they will eventually beat those skeletons as Arkan gets back his Staff of Nagash from fighting in melee for long enough. The Iron Hail Gunners trying to get shots on anything they can, but not great angles for those guys. The Bone Giant's still firing away. Whatever. He only has 5 volleys left. He's not going to get crazy damage down. Watch as I say that, and then he's going to do something amazing. Yeah, it's okay. Shopty Summon will be quite big on the Iron Hail Gunners. Am I being messaged? Okay. I have a message. Is it about the tournament? Dun, 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 dun. No. Okay. Moving on. Beta Buna is out onto one of the Iron Hail Gunners. Want to kill them off quick. While the Ushopti are also killing another one. But here's a net of Amatok. Iron Hail's trying to get damage onto Arkan. We are dealing with Yenbo. So once he uses that Executioner's, Emperor's Executioner, that can do a lot of damage to a teeny tiny little single entity like Arkan the Black. You always got to be careful of that. Second and final restore used on the Khorne War Sphinx. We do have the Chosen of the Gods still firing away, and a side shot from the Bone Giant does decent damage to Iron Hail Gunners. But the Skeleton Horsemen finally activated from the backline. Looks like they kill an entire Iron Hail, but then they do die. Grand Cathay has lots of infantry left. They're doing good. I asked John OBS to bother you. What's it like being the first human rat hummus hybrid? Human rat hybrid, I'm not even close to the first, but having a little bit of hummus mixed in there, that is pretty unique. Makes me feel pretty cool. Ushapti Summit is about to fade away. Has 15 seconds left on it, but it did rout off more Iron Hails, which is problematic for the forces of Grand Cathay. They don't quite have that burst potential like they had last time they dealt with the Khorne War Sphinx, which does get netted mid-charge, stops in place. We have 2 Iron Hails aiming to deal with it, and Yunbo is also charging in. The Khorne War Sphinx just charge attacks, take it forward a little bit, getting it further from Yunbo, but he does eventually catch up. Net only has 5 seconds left. One more shot from each of these Iron Hails is all they're going to get. Need to get insane damage out, but Arkan with a clutch Skeleton Warrior Summon right on top of the Iron Hail Gunners stops a lot of the damage that would have been coming from that War Sphinx, but he does still need to move. He's still fighting Yembo. He is still getting shot. Chosen of the Gods back out into the wild, firing at any clustered up infantry they possibly can, but Arkan is charging Iron Hail Gunners, takes a little bit of damage. That was scary, but he made it. He got it done. It'd be cute if you grew some flowers on top of your head instead of hair. I mean, for... Why flowers? Why? Because of the hummus thing? Why flowers? Iron Hail's still ripping shots into Skeleton Spears. The Chosen of the Gods helping out with that a bit. Bounce power is still pretty even. Both sides have had turns with a conquest point. It looks like the Tomb Kings are trying to take it back now. Bone Giant getting attacked by Jade Warriors. They's getting awfully low, Mr. Krabs. Faye is getting awfully low. Arkan the Black pops his staff in a gash and is running around. As we said, Jade Warriors are routing, but Yembo is a very, very expensive lad. There's a lot of balance of power. You can turn into a giant dragon monster, and the Ushapti are using their last volleys, making them kind of subpar melee Ushapti after that point. We still have the Emperor's Executioner, so a bunch of guaranteed damage going for Arkan the Black at some point. Bone Giant's getting low. Khorne War Sphinx is out on a bit of a jaunt. He does need to kind of come back to the fold a bit. As Jade Warriors move in to fight against Skeleton Spears. Look at this spinny guy just spinning around. Wee wee. Is he gonna fight an Arkan? He probably still has Winds of Magic for a net, since this is his only spell. Still, the Tomb Kings are gathering up tickets. They're holding that point. Both sides have scattered quite far away. Another Spirit Leech onto Yenbo. Kind of surprised Yenbo has never turned to his dragon form in this fight. You'd think he'd want to at this point, just for the increased mobility, better charge attacks and stuff. There, okay, this is the death of Arkan. No! You popped Dragon's Fang, you canceled your net! Now he's casting the net, but Dragon's Fang is ticking down. Still, it's 50% more damage and plus melee attacks. So he's going to hit Arkan every time for sure, and then he should get the execute off, which could turn this game around for Grand Cathay. He needs one more hit onto Arkan, but there's the execute. Got him. And Arkan is dead. The crumbling starts coming in for more units. I don't know what this Khorne War Sphinx is getting up to. I feel like every time I scroll, it's exactly there and charging exactly these Jade Warriors. And then I'll look somewhere else and I'll come back and he's still right there charging Jade Warriors. So I don't know if that's possible. As the Iron Hail Gunners start to rally and form a couple firing lines, the Khorne War Sphinx is not going to finish them off. Instead, it's going to run back towards its troops. The Ushapti ROR is getting poked down by Yembo, who's at half HP. Now, he is big and scary. Spearmen will get their anti-large bonus versus him now that he's not his human size, but he can also just path out of there whenever and cycle charge with being a big boy. Khorne War Sphinx charges over. Bone Giant's still fighting random Jade Warriors this whole time. Vibin'. And the War Sphinx isn't looking to take a charge onto Yenbo, strangely. You'd think it would want to, but it looks like it's going to clear out the Peasant Long Spears instead. Wants to tear out those guys away. OBS, fuck you! To show my replay, I'll see why I should never name myself Lucky. I'm sorry. Yenbo is still grinding. The conquest point belongs to the Tomb Kings, and Grand Cathay is not moving up very quickly to go take it back. They're leaving Yenbo to just fight for a while, which he'll do okay, but he can't capture it. He's flying. Can't do shit about that. Cameron War Sphinx charges in. Knocks some people around, terror outs them immediately, terror outs the Iron Hill Gunners also immediately, shatters another one. All of the Iron Hill Gunners, all the Jade Warriors just shatter in front of the Cameron War Sphinx, and Yenbo is pathing out to go deal with them. 600 tickets closing in. Someone's messaging me about tournament things. I'll be there when I'm there. Calm yourself. Yenbo takes a duel with the Cameron War Sphinx. He should win that duel, but it's all a matter of time. He only has 3 minutes left before the Tomb Kings win this game on tickets. He has the Dragon's Fang Executioner out, ready to execute the Cameron War Sphinx. He has to catch up to it first. Also, I think he has to turn it orange. I don't think he can execute it when it's blue. There, now it's orange. Now he can execute it next time he hits it with the Dragon's Fang active. The Dragon's Fang wears off, so the Cameron War Sphinx will be allowed to crumble normally. Yenbo is surrounded. Getting some decent damage out, surrounded by skeletons, surrounded by Ushabti. He continues to fight on. He will never retreat. He will never surrender. Okay, he is trying to retreat. He'll never surrender, though. Retreat? Maybe. Surrender? Absolutely not. Cameron War Sphinx getting a couple shots on him, not letting him get off the ground. He has to turn to fight, otherwise he's about to break, and if he breaks, the game, like, literally ends. Grand Cathay will just army loss. Oh, his leadership's down. Oh, fuck, he broke. He broke. Army losses. It was very close. But his hack leadership couldn't hold. Very good game from those two. I have to scroll through the values very quick because there's a semifinal to go get to. Right now, we have to get moving. The Cameron War Sphinx is all the things did great. Yenbo did fantastically. Jade Warriors ground as hard as they could. Iron Hill Gunners did fantastically. They all did amazing. Everything did amazing, but we gotta go! We can't be here anymore. We can't just cast these games anymore. We have real games to cast. We have the semifinal. I gotta go join. Join with code. There's the code. Paste the code. Spectator, spectator, spectator. 1, 2, 3. Boom. We're gonna probably see some builds. No spoilers. Nice. I actually did hop in on builds, and the builds are still being constructed, so no spoilers. All right, La Luna's fucked. Mini Scout gets to the finals. That's messed up. That's not cool. Lizardmen versus Dwarves is so cursed, bro. It's so cursed. Did I win it versus Gotrek recently? Yes. Is Gotrek the greatest dwarf player alive? Yes. Since I beat him in this matchup, and this matchup is cursed and unwinnable for Lizardmen, but I won with Lizardmen, does that make me the best player of all time? Yes. Was he taking a serious build? Define serious. Define serious. Did he take units? Yeah, he took units, so it must be a serious build. Okay? Don't undermine my achievements. But Luna is not the fuck you, OBS, you piece of shit. La Luna is not the best player in the world. Dwarves are very scary. I think La Luna is doomed. Definitely not cursed. Yeah, I don't think it is. I mean, Big JP, tournament host, Captain Teal is one of my mods, both of you hopping in and undercutting my hype. That's pretty cool. That sounds like good showmanship when you come in and do that. Yeah, really helps. Really helps the content. Thanks, guys. Really helps. Bully me so much. No. All right, you want to be more serious? This matchup's tough for the Lizards, but it is quite doable. Dwarves are, in my opinion, crazy powerful right now, so there's not a big list of matchups that is very doable. This is one of them. Lizardmen have armor-piercing flyers. They also have flyers in general, so they can peel the gyrocopters. Not every faction can do that. You have an abundance of ground-based fire, so you can use skink skirmishers, skink cohorts to also keep gyrocopters a little honest, though those shots aren't armor piercing. You have armor piercing skirmish in various forms of artillery. You can salamander, scoot, and shoot. You can use solar engines as just a firing platform. I've seen Stegodon scoot and shoot, so there is some kiting you can do there. Ripperdactyls are good versus ground-based dwarves. Red crested skinks have amazing armor piercing. You have Croxagores. The options are there. I think dwarves are insanely powerful, and I think Trollhammer torpedoes are nuts in this matchup, but he didn't bring any. Didn't bring any. Haha, him boy's crying. What a loser! I love you guys. You guys are hilarious. 1001 airstrikes, you almost scraped into finals. I don't know who did make it to finals. Uh-oh. What happened? What happened? Oh, were they on the wrong map? They were on the wrong map. Got it. JP, you're in the chat. Who made it to finals? Obviously, we have Mini Scout and Luna, but I thought I saw you said 3 people. So, do we have 1 semifinal and 1 final? Or is it 2 semifinals? What's going on? We have 2 semis. Oh, okay. I saw you doing a number picker thing, and I got confused and sad. We had 3 tied for 4th. Okay. Okay. Understood. So, Luna informed me they have not been beaten yet. They are 5-0? 4-0? 4-0 on the day. So coming in undefeated so far are the Lizardmen. We have... Okay, we have no Lizardmen. Lizardmen left. Cold One Riders, not Spear Riders, because the bonus versus large would be a bit wasted. A full Red Crested Skink front line, very smart versus Dwarves. Obviously, their armor piercing is amazing, but also their spread formation can help a bit with the Miners with Blasting Charges throwing at them on the way in. You have some Skink Skirmishers, cheap poison to shoot at Gyrocopters, or just be annoying in the late game. Proxagores with armor piercing and anti-infantry make good line breakers in the front line. Flock of Doomcaster, Ripperdactyl Riders, and Nakai. This build is fine. This build is fine. If you want my actual opinion on a build that I think is better to beat the Dwarves, I honestly take 2 Feral Bastiladons. They cause terror. They're only 650 gold, and their tiny profiles make it very hard for them to get hit with ranged units and get surrounded by Slayers. Like, they just don't take a lot of damage. And they have armor-piercing anti-infantry. They do pretty well in the front line. I honestly take a Heavens Caster with Renan's Thunderbolt, because Dwarven tight formations and Thunderbolt's very high damage profile can actually, like, kill a lot of units very quickly. And you can use it on the front line whenever clumps form to get through the front line even quicker. I do like that a lot. Also, Curse of the Midnight Wind's good. And then I take a couple Pterodons, a couple Ripperdactyl Riders. Pterodons can chase the Gyrocopters around and just be a nuisance while the Ripperdactyls dive the enemy backline. But otherwise, this build's solid. I just worry about Nakai. I worry about him. I think he isn't going to do enough damage quickly enough, and his leadership lowering stuff isn't that great versus Dwarves who are very stalwart. So I feel like he's a bit of a waste of money. I think a Heaven's Slan would just get you further. Or honestly, I do take Tic-Tac-Toe and then a Heaven's Skink, because Tic-Tac-Toe causes a lot of disruption, and his teeny tiny little profile makes him very hard for losers to shoot. Hi. There's someone named Triples is best. I think they're still in the chat, but we were casting the games earlier. But then when I mentioned if it was about I think you should leave, he said, I got triples of the Streltsy, I got triples of the Cannon, I have triples of the Cosmic Dervish. So it's definitely about that. Yeah. I don't think he made it to finals, so I think he's out, but I just wanted to let you know.
That's amazing. Well, I'm going to wait and see if they're in the chat. So if Triples best... Triples of the Nova.
Triples of the Nova. Because I think his name started with a W somewhere.
Oh, so he's Triples is best in the game, and then...
There it is.
William
Satan got Triples of the Nova, then Streltsy, and the Grog.
Okay.
This is safe now, but we'll see if Will's still in the chat.
We're in a Khorne Cop TV shirt right now.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. We love Khorne Cop TV. House.
For the dwarves, we do have 2 gyrocopters with brimstone guns. Those are the flamethrower variant. And then the Longbeards, Dwarf Warriors, Miners of Blaster Charges, 1 Bolt Thrower, Ulthar's Raiders, the Rangers with Great Weapons with their special marked by Ulthar. Then we have 2 Thunderers with Grudge Rakers and a 2nd Bolt Thrower way in the back. Thoric and a Dragon Slayer for a little hero core. Now the problem with the hero core is in Conquest, if you don't move up with the dwarves, you're not going to take the point, and the enemy has no reason to advance into you. That can be rough. Sully just says, yay, Grace. I couldn't agree more.
Yay!
Oh! Everyone! No? No? Okay. Grace has secrets. She'll be in tomorrow's video.
I will?
Yeah. It's the ice bath one.
Oh, I thought you meant like you recorded the video.
No, you're the cameraman. Alright. Alright. Minus Blasting Charges getting their shots in, but uphill they actually hit the Dwarf Warriors a little bit in the back. Lots of damage. So a little bit of friendly fire there, but the Skinks are still trying to get through the front line. The Miners causing a lot of disruption. Lizardmen did capture the point. Lowest damage flamethrower in the game by far. Yeah, no. The gyrocopters are... Brimstone gun gyrocopters are pretty terrible. Because they're getting eaten alive by Ripperdactyls and Skink skirmishers. I think you should leave, guys. Still here, but I know. Triples the chasing. Croxagores just run straight through the front line. I love how they didn't even stop and fight. They didn't win the fight. They just ran past it. Which is pretty smart. Thunderers and Grudge Rakers. Lighting up Cold Wind Riders. As Thoric just Rune of Wrath and ruined his own Ulthar's Raiders. Straight up. Just straight up shot them. You hate to see it. I don't know what the bolt throwers are firing at right now. Looks like they're shooting at Croxagores. Thunderers trying to line up and get shots over there to aid Thoric a little bit, get those scatter shots going into the Croxagores. And Nakai just comes dancing from off screen. This is the chat. Bye, Grace.
How long?
Probably about an hour. Okay, goodbye. Golden Riders having to charge into the meat grinder, getting absolutely blasted by the Thunderers. But if they can hold on and get into melee, they will be just fine. Those Thunderers are not very good in melee. I learned that when a Dreadquake did no damage to Black Orcs crossing a river. What? Water negates explosions. I didn't know that existed. That sounds crazy. Longbeards fighting alongside Miners against the last of the cohort of Sotek. They could probably peel off one of those 2 units. You don't need both fighting the remnants of the cohort of Sotek, while the Croxagores continue to get up and disrupt Thunderers with Grudge Rakers. More Croxagores running in, and 3 Croxagores this late in the game, pretty healthy, and there's not a lot of Dwarven DPS up. Makes me very nervous. As you can see, Mini Scout is down about 1,000 damage value. Skink Priest gets caught, that's a little concerning, and Nakai is currently fighting Thoric though, so I'd much rather be Nakai in that situation. Thoric is gonna die. Full health Ripperdactyl Rider trying to rejoin the fight, but the Red Crested Skinks have all been pushed away. Various forms. Can the Dwarves rally any DPS and deal with the Croxagores? It doesn't look like it. Nice job from Luna, sending Croxagores to fight every different form of DPS and make sure that no, like, Thunderers and Grudge Rakers can reform lines and shoot you. That's also nice. Yeah. Gyrocopters with brimstone guns coming back to the fight as well. Ripperdactyls look like they just got tired of chasing those, and now they jump onto bolt throwers. That's a decent target for them, but I've heard since the bolt throwers got 8 models, they kind of have weird interactions with melee units, and it looks like the Ripperdactyls just fuck off. They're like, I thought about charging you, and now I don't want to. Something is happening here. Miasma of Despair is down from Nakai. Terror outs away Thoric. Does not have ITP without his... Ooh, we didn't take Rune of Hearth and Home. Yeah, he's regretting that. And a Dragon Slayer honestly should have stayed next to Nakai. Yeah, just chase Nakai around with the Dragon Slayer. But he left Thoric all on his own, so now Thoric's getting run over by a crocodile. Pop him. Nice miss, Nakai. Asshole. Oh, there you got a hit. Ripperdactyls route off the gyrocopters again. Croxagores running around. It looks like the lizards have got this for sure. There go the dwarves. I have another final to go find. Between Curio and Doggy. I don't know who Doggy is. Curio is playing Tomb Kings. I don't know who Doggy is. Dwarves were defeated. I was proven wrong this day. Well played from Mini Scout. Hope to see you further in later tournaments as I go find the other semifinal. I can't join this game. This game's full. Yeah, whatever. Nerd. Put you guys in black screen again so we don't spoil the builds for just a second. Oh, I'm back. Oh, the Beastmen player made it. Interesting. Okay. Jim King's Beastmen. One of them will go on to fight Lizardmen in the finals. You know that Anticity stole your lunch money? Yeah. Yeah, he does that. That is classic him. That's just classic Anticity. As I write myself a note, this game should get started soon. I wonder if the players were watching my stream, and there's a delay on the stream, so I don't know if they know I showed up here yet. What about OBS overlay? I don't know what that is, Homer Simpson. I'll look it up after the stream. Curio, read it up. Curio noticed I'm here. I do think Trollhammer torpedoes are a key in that matchup, though. And the Dwarves didn't have any. But Trollhammers are pretty insane. They're great versus Croc scores, great versus cold ones, really good versus any of your flyers, and they have pretty insane range after the update. I don't think they're unbeatable, I just think they're very strong. We have Arkan and double Necro Sphinx, not Kemrian War Sphinx this time. Double of the anti-large variant. Versus a sus Beastman build. I'm terrified for Beastmen here. A Gorgon and a Gorbel trying to duel this. It's not going to go well. No. Shit. Okay. Consider me scared. Curio, pretty small build, so we can cover it quite easily, even while they're setting up. We have a Necrotect with a Restore. We have Ark in the Black with Fate of Buna and Spirit Leech. Double Necro Sphinx. One is the Sphinx Usef. We have the Chosen the Gods who shot Great ROR. 2 Skeleton Archers. 1 Skeleton Horseman. And then a front line of Tomb Guard and Skeleton Spears. Trollhammers aren't that good into CD. Cannons do more. Okay, CD, yeah, but I was talking about Lizardmen. Chaos Dwarves are very different than Lizardmen. Because Lizardmen rely on a lot of monstrous units that are tall and easy for the Trollhammers to shoot. Anyway, on the other side we have Beastmen, Khorne Gores, Gore Herds, Hestigores, Blackhorns Ravagers, and Ungor Spearman Herds, some with shields, some without. So a very diverse infantry front line. Backing them up is a Spirit Leech caster, a Gorgon, Morgur with both of his Chaos Spawn summons, yes, 1 Minotaur with Great Weapons, and a Gorbel. I think the Tomb King's gonna win. Same, but now that we've loaded into game, I'm feeling strangely a little bit better. Just a little bit. Because the Tomb Kings do only have 5 infantry. Try and keep their back line online, so maybe the Beastmen can run past them. I don't know. Never mind. I'm nervous again. I'm nervous again. I've become the nervous. Beastie Boys. Look at this big drooling monstrosity. He is weak to fire, though. I thought. He's not weak to fire. Never mind. Beastmen win this. I thought the Gorgon was weak to the fire damage of the other Sphinx. Good luck to both from Luna. Luna trying to psych him out before finals. That's messed up. That's bad sportsmanship. Kick Luna out. Kick Luna out of the tournament. Get him out of here. OBS is still mad. OBS being OBS. I'll deal with it after the stream. I don't know what its sudden problem is, but it's been a real bitch the last 2 or 3 live streams. You hope Tomb Kings win? I don't care how to deal with Beastmen. That's funny, because traditionally, people would think that Lizardmen into Tomb Kings is pretty bad, and Lizardmen into Beastmen is pretty good. So, but it does depend on your own comfort level. I was playing Flower for a best of 3 series that'll launch as its own video, and I picked Dark Elves, and their options were High Elves and Tomb Kings. And Dark Elves into High Elves is traditionally thought of as bad for High Elves. I was really hoping he would pick Tomb Kings, because I know that match was bad for High Elves. I don't know how. So when he was teasing with High Elves, I was like, don't call my bluff. I don't know how to play that matchup. But the game is on. Let's focus up on our semifinals. The infantry of the Beastmen are just charging straight in, including the Brace Shaman and Death on a Chariot, but he might not want to be careful. Charges into Brace Spears. Will unbrace them, so he won't take that much damage, but there is, you know, this thing right next to him. But it has other fish to fry. It's going straight for the Gorgon. And speaking of going straight for something, big snipe attempt onto the Sphinx of Usev, surrounded by Minotaurs with great weapons and a Gorbel and a Gorgon, taking a lot of damage, but it's doing so much damage back to the Minotaurs with great weapons. So both sides trading very effectively. Centaurs are sneaking around the back line, trying to find something to do. And we do have a restore caster that can come over and give this big Sphinx a heal it really needs already, but it's done so much damage to the Minotaurs. That is insane. Chaos Spawn Summon already out from Morgur. Looks like the Beastmen are all in on blitzing this front line. It's not going to wait for a late game summon or something. They're just going to do it right away. The Necrotech is coming over. He is really trying to get in range of that restore, but the Centaurs have reached the back line. Looks like they're going to recharge these archers and take some of them out as the Chaos Spawn are trying to help deal with Arkan and help Morgur with the Necro Sphinx. Bounce power is in the Beastman's favor a little bit. Damage value is very even, but in comes the big damage. Restore is saving that Sphinx for now, but the Gorbel and the Gorgon still fighting him. The Minotaurs only have 10 models out of 16 left, very low on HP, so any more hits from the Necrosphinx will take them out. But there's just so many units over here that this one Necrosphinx is fighting. The other Necrosphinx has been distracted. It's trying to snipe Morgur, but its impressive bonus versus large is wasted versus an infantry-sized character, and then it keeps knocking him down. He really, really, really needs to bring this Necrosphinx over here to help out in this big fight, because it is just doing nothing right now, fighting a Chaos Spawn Summon while its brother dies completely alone. Centaurs got done fighting those spearmen, the archers over here. They got some decent damage out, but then they charged back, and the Chosen Gods just stopped them from firing. The second Chaos Spawn Summon is out. This is the strongest the Beastmen will be this entire game. They wait for those summons to deplete. A lot of damage onto the Necrosphinx. Honestly, the Gorbel and the Gorgon and all these units taking out the Sphinx of Usef. In comes a new Shopti summon from the Tomb King's Army passive, but it's not enough to save the Arwar Sphinx, which is already going down. Axe of Men causes Unbreakable and Terror for the Gorbel. Another Spirit Leech onto the Gorgon, but he's going to heal up while he's in melee. We're still waiting on the double summons from the Beastmen to fade away. It looks like one of them did. This other one's still fighting the Necrosphinx. I don't want to be too critical, but just, you know, gotta call balls as balls and strikes as strikes. I do think that there's been a pretty significant misplay with the second Necrosphinx. It was never where it needed to be, and it has spent its literally entire game fighting either Morgur, where it didn't hit him even once, or Chaos Spawn that are summons and not real. Meanwhile, in the backline, Arkan gets sniped out. Once again, the bodyguard Necrosphinx is nowhere near where it needs to be. Arkan is going to crumble to death. The Necrosphinx is going to die as well, as an overcasted Spirit Leech from the Deathcaster just wants to make sure that it's dead. That is a little mistake for the Beastmen. Not to say that they're playing literally perfectly. Overcast of Spirit Leech does not do extra damage. It increases the range from which you can cast it, which when he was right there, he was in range to regular caster, so he didn't have to do the Overcast. But regardless, the Beastmen are playing this pretty fantastically. I liked the Tomb King's build. I didn't like some of the Tomb King's target priority. I thought the Beastmen did a really good job of taking all their anti-large assets and taking a 1v, like, 18 fight, if you include all the Minotaurs as their own things. And the Necrosphinx was just having troubles with that, instead of fighting both Necrosphinxes together. And he did a good job distracting the Chosen Gods. I really didn't think they got that much damage value out. Yeah, not too much, because if they had been able to fire at that giant clump that was fighting the Necrosphinx, they would have had a pretty bad time. Nice job from... I'm gonna go with Leah. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Leal. Okay. Yep. We will see Beastmen versus Lizardmen for the finals. I Glancing through the values, Gorgon did alright. Minotaurs paid for themselves while also dying. Gorbel did great. He did more damage than the Gorgon. The other side, Arkan did fine. Necrotect provided the good heals. Tombguard Halberds held that front line forever. And double Necrosphinxes. You can see the one that got in the fight at 1, it actually got good value. The other one really just didn't get much done, unfortunately. GG's to both. And I guess I'll just hang here. La Luna La Pruna. Curio, it's okay, buddy. Okay, we're still besties. Luna called me a charlatan in DMs, but that's fine. A charlatan. Beastmen lizards getting their shit together. Before the stream, I had lunch. And during this lunch, I watched an old movie. Lake Placid. Did anybody see Lake Placid? It's a weird movie. It's kind of like a pseudo-horror, pseudo-action movie, because it's about this, like, giga-giant crocodile. Like, ridiculously giant crocodile that lives in a lake in New England. And the people in the movie are also like, how the fuck did this get here? But, like, when they have to carry it out, they have to carry it out on a semi. Like, it's that big, right? And I wanted to watch it because a friend of mine dug up that there was Lake Placid versus Anaconda, which is like a horrible movie, but it's kind of funny. So we're gonna watch that. But I was like, God, my dad used to watch Lake Placid when I was a kid, so I kind of remember the scenes. But it's been literally, what am I, 30? It's been literally like 24, 25 years since I've seen this movie. Lake Flaccid? No, Lake Placid, you silly Occam's raptor. Anyway, the reason I bring it up at all is two things I want to point out. Bad horror movies, or just silly horror movies, I'm not a horror guy. If you like this, I'm not trying to yuck your yum, but I do find it funny, and I'm allowed to have my opinion. But it's so funny, I just wanted to watch part of this movie to, like, remember it, and I skipped over any part that had nothing to do with the crocodile. Like, I skipped over any part that had literally nothing to do with it. And that hour-and-a-half movie turned into a 35-minute movie. 2/3 of this movie had nothing to do with the giant crocodile. Like, it starts out in this museum chick's like, I think my boyfriend's cheating on me. And her boss goes, yeah, your boyfriend's cheating on you with me. And she's like, bruh. And that scene is like 10, 15 minutes long. And then she goes off to Bumfuck Nowhere. And in Bumfuck Nowhere, they're like, I don't like you because you're from a museum. And she's like, I don't like you because you're from Bumfuck Nowhere. That's another 15 minutes. We're already a third of the way through this movie. So I skipped all the human parts. And this movie turned into like an episode of a show. Which is common, actually, as I think about it with other like horror movies. When they don't want to spend a bunch of money. Bro, Anaconda is dope, but it's Lake Placid versus Anaconda, like Alien versus Predator. But here's the second thing I wanted to bring up for it. I love, and this is in every horror movie ever. Right? I get that. I'm just using Lake Placid as an example. But know that these guys are fighting a crocodile that needs to be put on a semi to be moved at all. It's like the size of a semi-trailer. It is huge. It can eat boats in like one go. It can just eat a boat. Right? Not like a big boat, but a boat. Okay? Now, these guys think there is something out there. They go out there with like one of those little nets. Just a net. Because they don't know what's out there. That's fine. I'm not criticizing them. A net. And then they notice it is a crocodile the size of a semi-truck. And they throw a net on it, nothing happens, and one of the cops gets eaten, right? So then, and this is every horror movie. I'm not just complaining about Lake Placid. And then they go back out there with like 3 guys instead of 2 guys, and one of them has a pistol. And then they find the crocodile the size of a semi-truck, and they shoot it with a pistol like 3 or 4 times. It doesn't give a fuck. It eats another cop. And then they go back to shore and they go, listen, 4 cops and a shotgun. This'll work. And this is, again, with every horror movie ever, I'm like, you can skip steps. Like, you can do that. I know the characters in the movie don't have meta knowledge that they're in a movie, but if there's a crocodile in a lake that's not even big enough to house this crocodile, if it's the size of a semi-truck and if it is killing people, skip the shotgun, skip the 4 guys, skip the hunting rifle even, get a tank, like get an actual tank. Call the fucking National Guard. Like, you don't need to do this. Maybe 4 guys will handle it. Maybe 6 guys will handle it. Just call the National Guard. What are they doing that's so important they can't be called for a 60-foot crocodile? They're the National fucking Guard. And why do you think a shotgun is gonna kill it? Maybe it will, but why bother with maybe? So many of you have died. There are other guns that exist. Get an anti-tank rifle. And you might be like, well, you can't just buy that at a store. That's why you should call the National Guard. It was driving me insane. As they just line up on the coast with a fucking shotgun and like, this'll do it. I'm like, no. You see how big that thing is? Shotgun ain't gonna do shit. Has the taste for bacon. I think the state would need to call the National Guard. Yeah, but like they could call somebody. The thing is like when you're dealing with something this big and they now know it's this big, they go, we had 3 cops and a pistol. If we only had a 4th cop there, we would have been fine. So it's just funny. And again, it's not just that movie. And I successfully got us through the build phase. But it's not just that movie. There's horror movies all the time where like there's something going on and any reasonable person would skip steps, but it feels like in movie logic, you have to go with linear escalation. There's no such thing as exponential, right? Like, hey, go check that out. Sir, we just checked it out. It's a big fucking problem. Oh, okay, we should call the army. Cool, the army shows up, problem's gone. No, they always have to like ragtag, assemble a team, and we gotta do this and all that stuff. It's funny. Not necessarily bad, it's just funny. Because this is my stepdad loves to point out. He loves to do this to me because I'm a movie critic, I'm a nitpicker, and he goes, well, yeah, but if they called the National Guard, there wouldn't be a movie. He does that to me all the time. It bothers me, but he is right. I mean, he's like, yeah, but if they call it the National Guard, there's no movie. So you don't, maybe the last 100 Crocs they called the National Guard, but those movies never got made because then, you know, there wasn't a movie to have. It was just call the National Guard, Croc's dead. So you're getting to watch the one where the people are idiots. And I'm like, that doesn't make them not idiots. You have to suspend disbelief. Oh, for sure. I'm just having a laugh. It was a funny movie. I liked it. And the Croc effects were not bad for a 1990s CGI movie. It was pretty good. And Betty White was feeding the fucking thing. That was hilarious. When they find out where it came from, it was a normal crocodile that Betty White has been feeding for like 4 or 5 years and it just grew beyond all capacity. Goomboy, if I call the army because I saw a big croc, I would get sent to a mental health institute. Okay, maybe, but you can take pictures. Got phones. You can try making the movie good. All right. It's finals. Let's focus up. This is the last game that, well, not that matters. That feels mean. Someone told me that there is another game from the Swiss stage that was particularly fun. So we'll cast one more game after this, but it's just from the Swiss stage. This is it. Whoever wins this game right in front of you gets invited to the special new player top 4 event we are running through February. Whoever wins this guarantees themselves 1 free DLC from CA, courtesy of CA. Thanks so much for them for contributing 3 free DLC codes But if they win the whole event from that invite, the top 4 players versus each other, they will get all the DLCs for Warhammer 1, 2, and 3 given to them by me. So it's a pretty high stakes game. We will see who gets that automatic free DLC and the chance to fight for everything. For La Luna, my prediction to win today, we have seen them do very well. They are undefeated currently on Lizardmen. They've been playing Tomb Kings or some other factions recently in new player tournaments, but as soon as there's a prize involved, they flipped right back to Lizardmen, and I expected as much. We can see they're very proficient on them. Skink cohorts, frontline with the javelins, skink skirmishers on the flanks. We do have more skinks and red crested skinks along the front line. That is usually what you see. Saurus are a little too expensive for what they do. We have a Shadows Slawn with Melkoths. It's the only real spell. Bound Banishment, Bound Blood, Statue of Spite, and then Feral Cold Ones and Cold Spear Riders on the back. 1 Salamander hunting pack. Not the Razordons this time, the Salamanders versus the Beastmen's lighter armor. On the other side, for the Beastmen, surprise appearance from someone I honestly don't recognize the name, so if I've cast their games before, it's maybe 1 or 2 times max. So I do not know a lot about this player, but they made it to finals on their first attempt as far as I've seen, so congratulations to them. Excited to see more of them on stream, hopefully. We have Morgur, who seems to be their go-to lord, both of his Chaos Spawn summons. We have a Gorbel for a little bit of defensive bodyguarding. Flock of Doom caster, and then Gore Herds, Ungore Herds. I thought I saw some Khorne Gores in here. There they are. And then Blackhorn's Ravagers. We have 2 Minotaurs with Grey Opens this time, and then flanking Centigores on one side that are immediately jumping onto Cold One Spear Riders and Skink Skirmishers, or Cold Ones. I think with the Cold One Spear Riders they will lose, but this might be an overall good trade if they can take out some of those lesser units and then get into the back line. Minotaurs go straight through, jumping past all the skinks, not killing them yet, but getting past them to get onto the Salamander hunting packs to shut those down. Luna throws out a quick shield to the old ones for extra leadership and damage resistance. And in here we have Feral Cold Ones and skinks fighting for their lives. We do need those Cold One Spear Riders that are getting activated now. A little slow activation on some of these heavy cav that do need to get up here and peel for the Salamander hunting packs. Good charge in though, and it is a lot of great targets for the Salamanders, not Salamanders, for the Cold One Spear Riders to be attacking. Chaos Spawn Summon is out from Morgur. Is it the intentional one or the unintentional one? It is the intentional one that is already out. So once again, he is going for the full rush, get as much damage out as quickly as you can and overwhelm the enemy. And we can see that is working on the balance of power. On the damage value, not as much. Damage value, Luna is actually slightly ahead, but the balance of power really likes the Beastmen's out here. Salamander's still falling back. We still have some Skink Skirmishers, and the Cold One Spear Riders are busy trying to path through their skinks, and they're doing that thing where they just kind of get caught on their own troops. They're taking a long time to redeploy, and the center has broken. Chaos Spawn still moving about. Shadow Slawn kites back, and there we go. There's a second Chaos Spawn summon out. This is the strongest the Beastmen are going to get this whole game. Other Cold One Spear Riders are coming back from a victorious flank, but oh no! A very healthy Cold One Spear Rider running down Centigores. It's neat, you got a rear charge on them, but we got to do target priority. There's much more important things going on than one almost wounded Centigore in the distance. Blood Statue of Spite out on the Minotaurs as the Slawn does cleverly path behind the Cold One Spear Riders, dragging those Minotaurs and Gorbel into those armor-piercing anti-large cap. But the Beastman's balance power lead is gigantic, considering that the damage value is so similar. You have some other skirmish skinks that are running around Ungor Spearman herds, but we would like to see their damage come in here at some point. Minotaurs are getting attrition down nice and slowly. If the Cold One Spear Riders can hold on and get rid of those guys, that would be huge, but ooh, there are Khorne Gores in here as well. That is a disaster for the Lizardmen. Chaos Spawn summons are proving quite annoying, but our third Cold One Spear Rider still very healthy coming back into it. Like I said, Luna is keeping up on the damage value, and they need to for just a little bit longer as those last spawn fade away. All of a sudden the balance of power doesn't look as intimidating. They can get more focus shots onto just the units they really want to hit, those Minotaurs who are getting super low. Khorne Gores, 2 of them still in here. Those are a big problem for the Cold One Spear Riders. These guys are going to have to cycle charge if they don't want to take a lot of damage from those halberds. The Minotaurs are going nowhere fast. We're getting Slaughterer's Call, keeping them in this fight next to, I believe, the Gorbel is the one providing that extra leadership, so the Minotaurs are actually almost unbreakable. More skinks running in. Those guys will do great damage to the Khorne Gores overall, but the Khorne Gores are doing fantastic work on the Cold One Spear Riders. So much damage there. All the large units in this area getting killed off. The skinks get hit with another Flock of Doom. What can the Melkoth's caster get done? We do still have a banishment that I would really like to see right here. If you can take out both those Khorne Gores. Ooh, 1 Khorne Gore is routed. That's actually quite huge. Beastmen still have a good balance power lead. They took their first gold damage lead of the game, and the Gorbel escapes. Takes some Melkots, but that is just for the slow. It does almost no damage to a single entity as the Gorbel is free and clear to charge the Slann. Slann needs to get some of these Cold and Spear Riders back into the fight. Not that they'll do that much damage, but they'll at least fight and keep this guy off of you. Full health Cold and Spear Rider rear charging, that actually might do significant damage to the Gorbel. Again, if they can surround him, again, if they can get a really good contact angle on him as the Slann is starting to take a lot of damage. But Slans are thick. They're thick toads. So he does stop for just a second to keep the Gorbel fully surrounded and not just have him run around for a bit. And now these Cold and Spear Riders have to get a good surround on him and stop him from moving. They get new attack orders. Okay, they re-attack him. They're going to be fine. Another Flock of Doom is out. Red Crested Skinks pushing away the Khorne Gores. A lot of the Beastmen units are very damaged, but their 3 single entities are healthy. Half health Caster, half health Gorbel, full health Morgar. And the Gorbel again escapes the Cold One Spear surround. Gets back onto the Slann. If the Slann dies, the game is over. Lizardmen will lose for sure. But I like this pick off onto the Beastcaster. Need to stop those Flock of Dooms from hurting all your Cold One Spear Riders. These Cold One Spear Riders are so close to routing. The other ones are focusing on the Gorbel, and with more Cold One Spear Riders getting extra leadership from the Shield of the Old Ones, they get a good surround on the Gorbel. At last, they're finally blocking him, stopping him from chasing the Slann, stopping him from getting that consistent slow damage out. But another big Flock of Doom onto the last of the Cold One Spear Riders is quite huge for the Beastmen. Doesn't look like it's going to matter though, as the Gorbel just takes too much damage too quickly. He is getting knocked down, and the caster might go with him. And those Spear Riders are so low. Everything is so low, but we have 2 full health Skinks with some ammunition left. And the balance of power always considers Morgar to have both of his summons. It doesn't factor in that he doesn't have summons. I would actually way rather be the Lizardmen right now. Luna is up about 1,000 on damage value, but the balance of power is not a believer. But what is this? The Lizardmen control that point? I swore the Beastmen were standing over there forever, but they apparently never fully captured it. So the Lizardmen are actually ticking up on victory tickets. But yeah, I think this balance power is extremely fraudulent. I would way rather be the Beastmen right now. I actually don't know how LIA can win this at this point. He played a good game, and both sides are very tattered, but it's just, I mean, the Lizardmen have 3 chaff units and some Cold and Spear Riders and a healthy Slann versus just Morgar. Now, Morgar might be able to do a lot of bumping and grinding, and if you want to debate whether or not he can kill all the lizards slowly over time, maybe, possibly, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about how the hell does he ever take back that control point, because in 5 minutes, the Lizardmen are going to win by default. Can Morgar kill 3 Skink cohorts and a Slann in 5 minutes? Fuck no. I just don't know how the Beastmen are going to win this. We are hitting a lag spike, all of a sudden. Hopefully things are fine. Something just happened. Oh yeah, the Slann has a damage. I was like, when I saw a Shadow's magic thing going on, I was like, what? Beastman caster? But he's a Flock of Doom caster, so I'm being stupid. Never mind me. Khorne routing again. I saw them route before, so this might be their 2nd time. I don't think they'll shatter yet, but we'll see, as this other one's definitely about to route next to Morgar. Lizardmen are all running for the point. I think Luna probably just wants to capture it fully, but I had a moment where I'm like, did Lizardmen know they have that? Because feels like they don't know they have that. Khorne get charged by Skinks. And they'll hold for a bit, but not forever as they get rear charged. That should take them out. Balance of power still says the Beastmen have got this for sure, bro. And I'm telling the balance of power, you're high. One movie that did it for me. Jurassic Park gave me nightmares. I loved that movie, but I actually had is a strong word. I have recurring nightmares maybe like twice a year. I'll have a nightmare where like there's a T-Rex in the general area I'm in, and he's like murdering people. He's not after just me. It's not one of those dreams where he's like, he always knows where I am. He's coming after me. But it's still spooky. Just like a T-Rex in the area. You gotta find somewhere to hide. Don't move too much. All that shit. Chat's popping off about movies. Human boy, if I can call the army because I saw a big croc. Oh yeah. Alright, I caught up. I caught up on where I was at. Balance of power. I love this. The balance of power at this point is like, okay, 50-50. I'm taking even odds on this situation. Just Morgar versus all this shit. Balance of power is like, I don't know. Anything could happen. There's always a hot T-Rex milk in your general area. Ogre even there is. There is for sure. Conquest point is still ticking up. The Melkoth's slow, because why not? You have the Winds of Magic, so you might as well. There's literally nothing else here to use it on. Unless those Khorne Gores come back, and that will be a big who cares. It was a close game. It was a good final. My cat started scratching a scratchy poke behind me, so I turned around and then I made him ran away. There's no tactical reserve for the Beastmen? No, there is not. 24 troop count, and those Khorne Gores are 23 of them, and they're currently routing. But this is mostly what I was thinking of. The balance of power, no, to be fair to the balance of power, it's considering Morgur as a combatant versus all of this tattered Lizardman stuff. Maybe. Maybe he can grind it all out. But with the context clues of Conquest, and we are 2 minutes from the points determining who wins, and you have Morgur versus 2, 3 full health infantry, he can't kill 2 or 3 full health infantry in that much time. Maybe he could kill them into infinity, depending on where his healing cap is. But, nah. It also, as I did mention, it also thinks he has 2 Chaos Spawn summons left. It does. Your balance of power doesn't go down when you use your summons, but it factors in that you had summons. So balance of power is a little goofy. This Morgur just gets run over by Velociraptors. At some point, this is just bullying. I feel bad for the guy. Morgur got to the point, so at least he could start capturing stuff if he killed off things. Golden Spear Riders, 58 HP in 1 model, 13 leadership. Must feel good. Must feel great for Lizardmen. Cries and Skaven and Greenskins. Cries and low leadership faction. Even throws a cold-blooded on that specific Golden Spear Rider. He's like, this one cold one will never rout. You'll have to kill it. You'll have to tear it from my cold, dead lizard claws. Morgur's heal cap finally appears. We are 40 seconds from the end of this game, one way or the other. There is absolutely no hope for the Beastmen win this. Not in a million years could they take that point in time. I would like to jump the gun entirely and welcome La Luna Pruna to be the first qualifier for our new player special event that will be happening in late February. If he gets a chain route, he might carry it. But where's the chain route going to come from? We have 2 full health skinks that are standing far away. Like, that's not going to happen. The Salon can still do them. I think Luna's obviously being cautious, but I don't think Luna wants to fuck around too much because of how fucked up the balance of power was. That, like, if the Salon dies or something, I could see some complete nonsense army losses happening, and it's just like, what the what? So Luna just took their Salon and left. Taking no risks with that balance of power. Good job, Luna. Very good job to the person. I just can't figure out how to say their name, but I'm going to go with Leah. Lahaya. That one. Nice job getting to finals on your first appearance on our stream. You played great. The last game was pretty close. There were several key moments that if they had gone a different way, the Beastmen would have taken that game. But Gorbel was not able to snipe out the Salon entirely. The Golden Spear Riders did eventually peel correctly. Golden Spear Riders did manage to catch that flock of Doomcaster. So, in the end, they got everything done they needed to get done. Congrats to La Luna. And we have one more replay that someone wanted me to cast. I mean, obviously a lot of people want me to cast things, but I labeled it best. I heard it was good. I heard it was good, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna delete these other ones. They're not mucking up my hard drive. My hard drive has a lot of other stuff on there, if you get what I mean. Okay. We deleted everything else. Let's do this. Last one, then we're going home. Bye, Emerson. Drabostat with the grats. Drabostat, we miss you. Where you been? Hope you're good. Hope life is great. Oh, hey. It's Leah again. What up, dude? We just saw this guy playing finals. Alright, so for the Dwarves... Oh, we saw Dwarves in the semifinals! Alright, so these are two different semifinalists. Nice, nice. Rangers with great weapons, Iron Drakes with Trollhammer torpedoes, 2 bolt throwers stacked like literally on top of each other, and then miners with blasting charges and Rangers. Thoric in the front line. Aside for the Beastmen, we have Centaurs with great weapons on one flank. Jabberslythe, Shaman of Shadows with Pendulum and Melkoths, then a bunch of Ungor herds, Pestigors and Bestigors. Zongors as well. I haven't seen Zongors on a Beastman roster in a while. And then we have Morgar. This is always Morgar. Okay. Beastmen realize they have to move forward just because they're getting shot by 2 bolt throwers for free, so they are going to advance while the Jabberslythe tries to dodge 16 bolts getting chucked at it every couple of seconds. Doing its best. Trollhammer is firing away into the Centaurs with great weapons. Look at that damage. Look at that damage. And they charge in. Armor piercing onto the Trollhammer is going to do a ton of damage. They are only kept alive by their armor. Very low melee defense stats, low model count, low HP pool. They rely on armor above all else, and the Centaurs with great weapons can actually chew through them quite nicely. Blasting charges out on the younger Spearman herds will do well, but there's so much focus fire from the Dwarves that they're able to peel the Centaurs anyway. Now Harpies are landing on the same bolt thrower. Both those Harpies are on the same bolt thrower, and they're not going to do any damage because bolt throwers are crazy. Centaurs in the meanwhile get onto more Rangers, going to take those guys out. We'll see if any other Dwarves are able to shoot them. Looks like some are, but they aren't quite able to rally the same concentrated fire they used on these Centaurs. Does more Rangers on the high ground need to refocus and get back downstairs? Are you using a Pendulum on a bolt thrower crew? Because that's not a great use of that spell. I don't like that. Don't do that. Use it on the Dwarven frontline, please. Bolt throwers all still trying to shoot the Jabber, getting a bit of damage out as the Rangers with great weapons turn and fire downhill into that thing. It's got to keep moving, got to keep getting different charge attacks off. It's not great at sitting and actually fighting it out. As what is that? Is that a Rune of Wrath and Ruin? That is a Rune of Wrath and Ruin, and it has ruined all those ruinous Wrath doers. Morgar's Chaos Spawn summons are out. Now the bolt throwers are starting to tear out away a little bit. The Beastmen are closing in. We do have Bestigors fighting Longbeards over here. More Pestigors in the center getting through the front line. And now the Jibby Jab is starting to get his good charge animations through everybody. Centaurs with the rear charge. Spawn are still fighting it out. I'm a little worried, but maybe a downhill charge here from the Centaurs will do some good. Plow straight through the Rangers into the Iron Drakes. Great disruption of both of those units and stopping any range damage from coming out, which is what the Beastmen need to win. That is going to be a much better Pendulum down the line. Is it overcast? No, it's undercast. Just a little bit of poke. There is a reason you don't see much Pendulum in today's play, and that's because they just don't. Pendulum doesn't have the armor piercing it needs to be a meta spell. On the same thing that has Pit of Shades and Melkoths, most people just take those because they do better damage for less Winds of Magic, and they're harder to dodge. It's not a terrible spell. It's just on a spell kit with a bunch of other better spells. That's the reason you don't see it much. Beastmen are ahead of the balance of power, though we do have 2 fraudulent Chaos Spawn summons, and apparently we all learned that Morgar just has more bounce of power than a deity, so I guess that might feel a little fraudulent as Blasted Charges try and take out more Zongors. We still have some Iron Drakes, we still have some Longbeards over here defending those Iron Drakes, and of course, none of the spawn will go away of their own volition, but the Jabberslythe is starting to get off more draining effect. It does have the Aura of Madness if you are wavering leadership nearby it. And as the Dwarves get lower and lower on HP, they're heroic and courageous lads, but even they are not unbreakable. So they will start to, get that little Aura eventually. Chaos Spawn is about to summon. Oh, wow, 30 seconds left on it. Never mind, I guess I'm stupid. I was going to say, if it disappeared, the Rangers could hold against that Centaur because it's so wounded, but it looks like it's not going to work out for them because that summon has a lot more time on it than I thought. But a different Longbeard sneaks over to the point and is going to try and capture that. Now, in the center of the battlefield, Thoric is fighting with a Bray Shaman and Morgar. And he's actually doing a good job of it. He does have the Rune of Hearth and Home this time, so Vigor per second and ITP for all the units near him. We do have Pestigor still fighting, but this is going to be scary. Unironically scary. I know I'm a Bestigor hater at most times, but versus Dwarves and when all the range is shut down, Bestigor's going to have a field day. Now another Pendulum comes down the side, and the Jabberslythe dives back in. Beastmen are way up on the bounce power, though I'm starting to get concerned. We have a full health Pestigor off in the distance? What? What? Go get it! Bring it here! As the Dwarves have rallied around Thoric, they're now all getting ITP, and they are slowly getting vigor back. That's going to be concerning. They're already back up to Winded. Beastmen are starting to rout, especially their caster. Morgur is fighting Thoric. I don't know how much damage Morgur has actually taken that he's regenerated, so maybe his heal cap is right around the corner. Maybe he's literally full HP. I don't know. Harpy's chasing down some of the routing units. We do have bolt thrower crews coming back, but their bolt throwers are kind of in the middle of all this bullshit, so it's going to be very hard for them to get truly back online. As this one is on their mounts, or the crews are on their mounts. They're starting to push them away from the chaos, so they can maybe get a shot off somewhere else. The Jabberslate's getting real low. That is the Bestigor horde that charged in. I thought they had a lot more HP than that. They're apparently not having a good time versus the Dwarf Warriors, who are ITP because of Thoric, so they will not tear out away from the Jibber Jab. Dwarves have the victory point. Longbeards go to fight Ungor herds, and still we have a Pestigor, full HP, not participating at all. It is now starting to move, so it will come back over here as Iron Drake Trollhammer Torpedoes rally in the distance with 6 models left. That's actually still a lot of DPS left for them. Bolt throwers get routed for another time, and these bolt throwers are just trying to sneak away. They're like, no, please. No, it did not do nothing wrong. No, please. And they get run down by Centipedes. Boy in chat, hope you're all doing well. What up, Zero? Hope you're doing good. Thoric gets a good shot onto Morgur. The Bestigor herds do clear out a lot of nonsense. That is a Rune of Wrath and Ruin, but it's honestly going to hit mostly Dwarves. Got some Harpies, I guess, but it also hit those Longbeards and definitely did some damage to them. But that full health Pestigor will honestly probably break the camel's back here. We still have a half health Longbeard. Thoric and another Longbeard hanging out as best they can. We have Bestigors in here alongside Morgur. And Harpies that shattered. Bestigor herds getting rear charged by Longbeards might take them out. Just getting attacked in the flank is that potent. Lots of routing units for the Beastmen. Bullshit balance of power yet again. As Morgur is considering routing, the Jabberscythe charges back in, but all these dwarves are active and fresh. They have perfect vigor because of fucking Thoric. Dwarves love friendly firing their rune magic. And the Pestigor is going to get a lot of damage out, but also if Thoric has another Rune of Wrath and Ruin soon, that can actually do a ton of damage to Pestigor. And look at the Pestigor is taking a lot of damage against these Longbeards. What the fuck? Holy shit. You can do my Khorne versus Tooney next time. What? Melkot's out from the caster? Oh, the Shadows caster's back. If he routs again, he's going to shatter. I think he's already routed twice. And Thoric actually clicks on him. Thoric, you should not leave this area. You are needed to duel Morgur and, honestly, the Jabberslate. Please stop trying to leave. No, you can't catch him when he's on a chariot. He is way too fast. Thoric! Thoric, go back! Thoric, no! You're removing your ITP! Wait, these are Longbeards. They have ITP anyway. Okay, whatever. But you still can't catch him. Man, it's 54 speed. You have 30. Pestigors are charging in. I mean, if the Brace Shaman doesn't fucking move. Thoric jump kicks him in the face and shatters him! What? You can't. What? I don't understand. I don't understand how that just happened. As those Pestigors are crazy clumped up, there's a Rune of Wrath and Ruin coming for them, for sure. For sure. But it might be on cooldown. No, it's not. How do you know? Because whenever a blob forms, somehow the Rune of Wrath and Ruin is not on cooldown any longer. I swear its cooldown is dependent on, is there a blob? If yes, instantly finish cooldown. Rune of Wrath and Ruin has to be coming soon, you would hope, for Thoric's sake. Bounce power is still as bad for the Dwarves as it has been for a long time, but these are Longbeards, they're going nowhere, as the Jabberscythe has been expertly cyclocharging around, gets a big hit onto the back of the Longbeards, and they are starting to get drained down by the Aura of Madness, but the Trollhammers get into range! -2 leadership, back up to 11, 19 HP on 2 Trollhammers, firing at the Jabberscythe over the top. Longbeards continue to hold. Thoric helping them out, giving them their vigor back. Thoric gets in the fight with Morgur. I still don't know where his healing cap is, and there's the Rune of Wrath and Ruin to kill the fucking Pestigors! Yeah! Pestigors take a bunch of damage. Longbeard's gonna rout. The Pestigors will not. We have more Longbeards coming back. The Trollhammers with 19 HP firing in onto the Jabber, trying to push it off, and this whole time the Conquest Point is picking up, but Thoric gets attacked by Morgur. How much HP do you have left, my friend? 1,700. And Longbeard's charging the Pestigores in the back. We'll get them to rout. That leaves Thoric and the Longbeards versus Morgar. I don't know where his healing cap is, and I don't know if I care. The Jabber Scythe is going to rout because he's getting shot with fucking Iron Drakes. Attacked by artillery. Minus 10 leadership debuff from the Iron Drakes firing in. That is significant. Morgar's HP is lowering. He's down to half HP, and he has healing cap in sight. But Balance of Power somehow gets worse for the Dwarves. How is it that the Beastmen are routed? OBS, how dare you disconnect right now?
Come, Snorri, get in there.
The Thoric and the boys still fighting Morgar, still getting good damage out. The Iron Drake's going to chase off the Jabber and make sure it doesn't return. I think that's the second time it's routed, so if it comes back and only routes again, it'll just shatter, which units love to come back and route again. As Thoric and the boys all still fighting Morgar, something is coming up. The Pestigores looks like they're going to get slowed with a Rune of Slowness, just trying to keep him out of his fight for as long as possible as Morgar continues to take damage. But Thoric takes a nasty hit from Morgar. Balance of Power is tipping against the Dwarves so heavily, but fuck off, Balance of Power. They're fine, they're chilling. The Jabber is back, but the Iron Drakes will make sure that that is a temporary cause at the best of times. Morgar takes more damage. The Jabber is going to shatter. Nope, it's just a regular route, but he still will have a hard time coming back. The Rune of Slowness, though, the rear charge from the Pestigores onto all these Longbeards is going to be quite bad for them, but Morgar is at 0 leadership for just a second. Balance of Power, fuck off. Now it's finally starting to give the Dwarves a little bit of a fighting chance. As Thoric, if he takes one more hit, it'll probably be army losses just because he's so much of the Balance of Power right now. The Iron Drakes are making sure that Jabber never comes back, ever. Morgar is so close to routing 3 leadership, and the Pestigores are chilling. Morgar is gone. Pestigores are gone, and they lose. The Beastmen still had the Balance of Power lead when they lost. If you screenshot it, I saw it. Very, very good game. The Dwarves of Mini Scout will win. Thoric got insane value. His ITP, Full Vigor Aura might be a bit cracked. Trollheimer Torpedoes did alright. One Ranger particularly did very well. Both throws did okay. Ooh. Other side for Lithium Aluminum H4. That one. Ungors didn't get to do very much because they just died. Zongors also didn't get to do very much. Pestigores did okay. Jabber Scythe was a hero and tried to carry this whole game. Centaurs also did very well. Harpies. %90 power and army lost. He didn't get army lost, to be fair. Just literally all of the units were routing at the same time. The Jabber was still routing, Pestigores routed, and Morgar routed, so nothing. Okay, OBS is disconnected. Reconnected again. I'm very sick of OBS's bullshit, so I'm going to throw you to Tequila Sunset before more of you leave. I don't know how long he'll still be streaming, but go say hi to Tequila for us. That was today's stream. Congratulations to La Luna for winning. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.